Hey, we have another way to start.
It's the 10 to 11 hour.
And, how about those Cubs, huh? Everybody's feeling a lot better today. Even the bird has a look of relief on his face.
I do.
After that incredible first inning last night. You don't remember it? Was it that exciting?
Huh?
Anyway,
What?
it's all downhill for the Giants now, man. When that fat Russell doesn't even make it through the first inning, you know they're in big trouble. We have a guest in the studio today, which is just... Yeah, listen to that music coming from next door, man. They must be really getting excited for the ratings coming out. They must be having a GTR celebration party.
Well, I hope we can hear our guest over the noise.
Man, they're just going nuts in there.
What?
Anyway, we have a nice card before Tom Jicha starts in with his usual crap. Nice to see you, Tom. Good to be here. How about those Cubs, huh, Tom?
How about them Cubs,
Yeah.
huh?
You're not one of these Mets fans that jump on the bandwagon.
Back.
Yeah.
How about that?
A lot of Mets fans are slitting their wrist about that this morning.
Not me. I'm happy.
Anyway, here's a nice card. I see the same writing that I've been seeing for now over 13 years, going all the way back to the cat. But this one's not for me. It says, to the management. Why not give a fellow a break who could give something to the audience? Take Glenn off the program. He is a joke, a disgrace to the audience. Put him in the back someplace. Wake up, WIOD. Do something. You have to drown with your host. Nice card, huh? Start the Friday.
Hill Fan Club.
Anyway, this is going to be quite a day. I hope you realize you're part of history in the making here today. We have not only your favorite Dickie Farrell tonight talking about bedwetting, but
oh boy, I
don't know what you're laughing about.
To say about him.
I'm sure you do.
Well, he had
nice
a lot of
column
things to say
the other
about
day.
me.
Well, screw him. And this afternoon, of course, one of the legends in the industry who called in on Ranieri's show this morning. And he must be taking his oxygen early today, huh? The Dean will be.
I couldn't believe it when I heard. The guy's like a radio yeast infection. You know, just when you think it's gone, it pops up again. It's unbelievable. I mean, I thought we really heard the last of him.
Oh boy, you're gonna be brutal today, aren't you?
Well, I don't know.
I don't understand. And, of course, on Sports Talk tonight, we have your best friend, Hank Golddigger, is going to be on, too. So we're really doing it all the way around. By the way, I want to say this on a serious note before we start. I had a note on the screen yesterday from some caller that Big Wilson had passed away. And I didn't put it on the air because with all the cranks that we get, I like to verify something first. But then Bill Calder called me last night to tell me that, unfortunately, it was true. And he was really a nice guy.
Class act.
Nice guy.
Yes.
Super guy.
Yeah, he really was.
And he was only 65, but I think between that weight and the smoking and, of course, this business, which is just... Bill said that he thought he died of a broken heart.
Really?
Yeah, which may have been exaggerating a little. You know how emotional Bill gets, but really, he just was crushed that he had to pack up and leave here and that nobody would hire him. And you see how that happens to a lot of guys.
Well, geez, I sure hope that isn't true, because if that was true, you know, Bill is on death's door all the time then. I mean, poor Bill, he just can't catch a break. I mean, we're talking about a real talented guy who just can't catch a break.
Well, it's...
if you could die of a broken heart, Bill couldn't get insurance.
Boy, he must have been practicing for this show today. You are brutal. Brutal.
How did I know you...
The guy's working now.
I know. I think it's great. I've said he's a real talented guy.
And he's been begging me. He says, don't give my number when the book comes in tomorrow. I said, what credibility could I have not to give your number? I think he's going to go up.
Has he been in long enough to really have a number?
He was there the summer book. He was there all 3 months. At the beginning, of course, it was like a changing of the guard. They blew out the whole butt-kissing audience there, the country audience. And then he had to start from all over again. But I think he'll do about a 1.
If he does a 1 there, that's a big number, yeah. I mean, they're fractions most of the day. Until you get to their sports at night, they're fractions.
And their sports at night, to be honest with you, a little overrated, my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're doing all that great. Well, it's not a big sports town.
No, I'm not nuts about Moynihan. I do like Ed, though.
Well, you like Ed because you and he go up to the track together.
Well,
he knows nothing about racing at all. He knows nothing at all.
Ed?
Nothing.
Oh,
he pretends he knows about racing.
No, we've cashed some good tickets together.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, he's like the king of the bet threes. He really is.
Not as much as Hank, though. He doesn't know as much as Hank.
Well, Hank's okay, too.
Nobody knows.
What is it with you and Hank? What happened? We got to talk.
I'm not going into this. I'm not going to get into a thing with my best friend because it would be wrong. Anyway, let me do a little break, and then we're going to talk about he's going to rip everybody today, I can tell that.
Not true. I'm going to be a nice guy.
He even said something nice about Calder, but he threw a little stuff in there in the background. I'm going to hear about that later, you know.
No, I'm
going to hear about it.
I've written more columns about Bill Calder than probably anybody
he deserves.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I just think he's gotten some real bad deals.
He has.
He's gotten stabbed in the back.
But to say that the man is going to die from a broken heart, isn't that what you said?
Well, I said I hope that isn't true.
Well, I hope it isn't true.
I hope you can't die of a broken heart.
At least until he cashes a ticket at Calder.
Is he still on his side?
He is 0 for the meeting.
Oh my God!
And getting farther away with every race.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a race in form here. I'll get him one for tomorrow.
Farther away from every race. By the way, I apologize. I said yesterday, go out and plunge your brains out for about 280 or 260 on Solid Brian, and he's still running. He never ran a lick. 30 cents on a dollar, and he finished dead last. You know what happened? He's one of those claimers who goes up the ladder, and as soon as they start coming down, it's like they lose it all at once. Really? Yeah. You know, they got the $5,000 claimers that become, $50,000 that magic
horses.
touch starts to wear off.
All of a sudden,
so to speak. Anyway, 12 minutes after 10, Tom Jicha, of course, the radio TV editor of the Fort Lauderdale News and Sun Sentinel, and of course, for many, many years, one of the great thorns in the side of Howard Kleinberg at the Miami News. Anyway, we want to invite you to 10:15 at WIOD. Tom Jicha is here. We're going to rip everybody to pieces, and then about 11:45, the book is going to come out, the summer book. We have some of those pseudo-intellectuals from Channel 2 in the other room. And, by the way, if anybody in the building can bring them some money, they're always looking for money. They're not doing a fundraiser at the moment, but still, they're always ready for your cash. You know what I'm saying? So they can put on those animals doing things with other animals on the screen. That's the one thing I don't understand. It's funny. I thought of like the ultimate porno movie you could get where you could turn on all the real perverts. Just do a film called Animals Doing It. And just have, gorillas and elephants. Well, they already showed that on PBS. Oh, do they? Constantly. I missed it. In between the National Geographic with the large... I must have been watching Racing from the Meadowlands. But anyway, Bill Cosford set this whole thing up. Where is he? Your good buddy. Well, he didn't show. Now, see, we were discussing that yesterday, whether he would show his face in here. I said no. And you notice he doesn't have the guts to do it. Well, I think also we should point out that there are papers with courage and there are papers with no courage. Exactly. The Herald will not allow their people to come here, and the Fort Lauderdale News Sun Sentinel told me, Tom, go down there and do it. Absolutely. No question about it. You're right. So anyway, what we're going to do is start ripping the Sun Sentinel so they'll put some pressure on, too. Don't do that, please. Anyway, Lee Fowler show this afternoon, by the way, lingerie fashions, models from the undercover wear lingerie business are going to be on. That's true. That's serious. That's for real, okay? He's ripping me off now. When they start ripping off your stuff, then they're really... Yeah, what does that tell you? Yeah, okay, let's get serious now. Look what you inherited from JNO. Yeah. Oh, let's start with him. That's good. I was going to start somewhere else, but what a great night. Do you want to hear his show tonight? Actress Suzanne Summers calls in to discuss the perils of bedwetting. Is that for real? That I'm not making it up. I mean, he's getting desperate. The funniest thing... What do you mean he's been getting desperate? It's on 5 nights now. He's getting desperate. By 8:45 last night, you know what he was doing? He was talking about, anyone out there ever had any bad experience with doctors? Call me in and let me know. Tonight he's going to do, what do you think about Social Security? No. Oh, yeah. With doctors? It was really funny. The funniest thing, the second night he's on, and that old Yenta, I think it was the one who calls up and goes, you're a bastard, because it sounded just like her. So she calls up, and she's going through this whole routine about you and how miserable you are and everything. And little Dickie goes, what are you calling me and talking about Neil Rogers for? And she says, well, you can never get through to Neil. I thought that really said it all about me. So, the guy, he has a great voice. I mean, if he doesn't make Does he really? Oh, yeah. If he doesn't make it in radio, he can be the MC at Irish Wakes. Oh, I just dropped Dickie Farrell on the floor with the Pledge of Allegiance. With that comment. I mean, he makes up, what he don't have in intelligence, he makes up in loudness. But how do you like his show, Tom? I love it. I mean, he just, like I said, what he doesn't have in intelligence, he makes up in loudness. Why did they hire him here? Other than Steve needed to rent his condo out, why did they hire him here? I think Steve pushed for him pretty hard. Yeah, he did. Well, they needed something to put there between baseball. You know what I would have done? On your column, you kind of indicated that you think that once baseball starts again, he's going to be out. And I don't wish anybody Even him, I don't wish anything bad.
Well, I think it's the one thing I'll say on his behalf.
Maybe Larry enjoys
live talk is good. I agree with you with that. Live talk is always preferable to the canned stuff, to Sally Jesse, to Bruce Williams, to any of that. So, that's fine. I don't know why he's chosen, the last 3 nights to attack me over the, the one column. And
he attacked you?
Oh, for the last 3 nights, yeah.
Well, maybe he's been listening to WOLD.
And that's the other thing that's interesting about him.
Are they still attacking you over there?
Last night no, I'm a non-person over there. It's really funny. They called one day. They wanted to comment on something on television. And so whoever they got at the paper said, well, Tom Jicha's our television editor. And they said, guy thought about it for a minute. He goes, is there anybody else there? Really? It's really funny. Dickie goes on all night, because I've been working late the last couple of nights. I've been listening to him driving home. And he's going on all night about how he has no idea what goes in this program. He doesn't listen to it. He can't understand why anyone listens to it. But he knows every single word that's said on this show. Like last night he's doing this routine with this chipmunk he's got. He's got this little chipmunk character, which is him talking into some kind of a voice box, I assume, comes out like a chipmunk. And he's going through the whole routine that went on this program.
I think it's a gerbil, not a chipmunk.
Whatever it is. And he's talking back and forth to the chipmunk, like Arnie Warren used to talk to his...
not like Arnie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so he's doing this whole routine.
Warren.
He's telling the chipmunk, well, I don't know anything that went on in the Neil Rogers show. And, of course, the chipmunks talk, well, this is what they said, and this is what they said. So, like right now, he's hanging on bated breath, and he'll come on tonight and go, I don't want to talk about that show. I didn't listen to it, but meanwhile, he said, hi, Dick, good morning, how are you?
He's wound up like an alarm clock today, isn't he?
Hey, for 2 nights, the guy's been ripping me. For nothing.
No, because you wrote a really caustic column about it.
I don't think that was a caustic
column. No,
well,
I think it was honest, but it was caustic. It would have had to be.
You know what he was upset about?
You ripped him an ass. You said, in essence, he has no talent. He's a piece of crap.
I did not say that.
In essence, and that he's just kind of like a temporary fill-in, and that he's a waste of time.
You know what?
He shouldn't buy a house.
You know what he was most upset about? He was most upset that after I let him rip J&O, I let him have his way, he said everything he wanted to say, that I gave them a chance to respond. That upset him. I mean... Here's a guy who's in the business.
Well, he's the same guy that when people call in and attack him, not only does he hang up on him, but he dumps it. Now, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hang up. Steve's been doing that for years because Steve's become thin-skinned. But then when you dump it, I don't get that.
Well, all he had last night was a sycophants from up in Palm Beach. We're calling him up, and he was practically begging for calls. He was going on and on.
I think it's always a real good idea to start somebody on the nights when the playoffs and the World Series are coming up. That's a good time to put live nighttime programming on.
Well, you got that but meanwhile, it died. Remember at your station what baseball did to your book one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just being sarcastic. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. He didn't have anybody listening in there. Maybe 5 or 6.
Well, you got them watching on TV, though. They're distracted.
But I wouldn't worry about it, because Blind Mike starts Monday night, and I think...
I heard that poll.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to call.
It wasn't even close. Mike won in a landslide.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring him in all the old jingles, and he's going to reminisce about all the crank calls he used to make. It's going to be terrific.
I talked to a friend of Blind Mike's the other day, the day you did the poll, and I said, how come Blind Mike didn't... I couldn't believe he didn't call.
He finally did.
He was listening to Craig. That's why. Craig's his buddy now. He's on Craig all the time. Craig takes his call.
That's because Craig puts him on the air.
Yeah.
I heard Craig the other day was filling in the afternoon for an extra hour. And don't get me wrong, because I like Craig. He's a super guy.
I did Craig's show
great guy.
A couple of weeks ago.
But the callers were like Methuselah's grandparents. I mean, FTL has got the oldest callers in history. Hello, Craig. And then, some of the voices I remember from KAT days, the gravelly voice guys from their two of them.
What's his name? The babysitter called, and... The one who almost ruined them. We got into a discussion. I was on the show, and
you got to be kidding me.
I can't believe you let her call.
You got to be kidding me.
Dory
no, the one that got him fired at W Snooze.
Just about, yeah. And he says, they're nice people and everything else. And
see, there are some people in the business. Craig is one of them. Calder is another one. They're just too nice. And they just don't have it in them to just hang up on somebody and say, get lost. You have to have some sense of self-preservation. Well, and when these hangers-on come along, I mean, I shouldn't put Bill in there, because Bill at least, chews some of these people out like Lester. But, I mean, Craig is just such a nice guy, and you can hear the impatience in his voice. He's trying to hurry them along because he knows they don't belong on the air, but he just let these people destroy him.
Yeah, as I said to him the day I was there, as soon as that voice, and I said, Craig, don't tell me you have him on. And he said, he's a nice kid, and I want to, I hate... And that's it. Craig is too nice for his own good.
Yeah.
If it's cost him a couple of jobs.
Too bad he can't be a rotten bastard like me. Okay, it's 10:23 at WIOD with Tom Jicha. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah, 26 after 10 at WIOD with Tom Jicha. Yeah, it's true. I read that in your column, and I didn't realize that because I don't pay much attention to Dickie Farfel. But it is true that he was looking to try to create a contrived thing here.
Yeah.
Now, where do you think he got that from, that contrived?
Kane's his buddy. He talks about Kane all the time.
Constantly. Like this.
Yeah.
They're like joined
he
at the
even
hip.
talked about the Dean a lot last night.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Steve loves the Dean, by the way, so that should give you a real good insight as to how Steve has degenerated in the industry.
The one thing, and I like Steve, but the one thing you say about him that's true is he has the worst choice of friends that I've ever...
He really does.
Between Sideman and the Dean, and this guy that's going to be back in, Lake Pahokee, New York, or wherever he came from.
What?
Where did he came? Where did he come? Mount Kisco. That giant in the that's where he's from. Mount Kisco, New York. He worked like WIOD or something. Yeah, but then he worked in Mount Kisco, which is like a flow-watt station. All
right, let's not spend 4 hours on Dickie Farfel, okay? Because it really isn't worth it. That would be like spending 1 hour for each listener. Anyway, the book is coming out at 11:45, so we brought Tom in to make his predictions.
Oh.
Put you on the spot today instead of this mamby-pamby.
Like a psychic?
Well, it's like picking horses out of the thing here, out of the newspaper. Look at me. I had a great 30 cents on a dollar horse yesterday, 1 to 5. And he's still running. He's coming in right now.
Yeah.
But Juan Carlos Kotex from the Herald called me yesterday at home. You know Juan. He's just obsessed with the show. And he asked me, he said, well, you got any predictions? I said, I don't make predictions on the numbers. And he said, well, what do you think exciting? What are you looking for? I said, nothing. I don't think there's anything. No, it's got nothing to do with the summer book. I don't think there's anything exciting going on in the market.
Nobody did anything significant. Nobody changed formats or brought in any great personalities or
other than the one we've been talking about.
Well, and he wasn't here. No, he wasn't here for the book. And in the summertime, you got. I think most of the personalities in the market take their vacations during the summertime. You also got I think excuse,
which is always a good excuse, by the way. For people that go down.
Yeah,
in the summer book. Well, I wasn't here for the 2 weeks.
And it skews a little different.
You got it. Wait a minute. There's a celebrity caller. I wasn't going to take any calls for a while, but we have a celebrity. Are you still there, Mr. Celebrity? What do you do? Hang up?
Johnny Dawg?
No, wait a minute. Much more. Let me try this. Now, he's probably gone. Hello? He's gone. You know who it was?
Who?
Don Cox.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, when Don Cox hangs up,
boy, that's bad.
He probably assumed we weren't taking any calls. I just saw it.
This will be the first time I've been here in a while that Sonny Fox won't call.
You never know. Sonny Jr. might call
we'll get Sonny Jr.
From Love 94. Sonny Jr. will probably call. But anyway, you don't see anything exciting going on.
Well, I think probably the rock and roll stations will do a little bit better because summertime kids are home all day.
Hot 105 is going to go down.
I think so. Well, there's EDR is claiming that they were playing a Dirty Tricks campaign with them with one of their contests or something, that they had a computer that they were dialing in every time they were trying to get requests or a contest, that they had their computer tie up the phone lines. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they're claiming that they caught them, and now that they're not doing that, their numbers will go up. But they might have just seen the trends. I think EDR probably...
Okay, Mike, all those calls on the hotline, just tell them it's cranking. Get rid of them, okay? We didn't call any of those people. That's still going on. That's been going on all week long. Somebody is calling all these sports people all over the country. Like last Friday, Wayne Messmer, who's the PA announcer, which I was tickled to death to speak to him. And there were a couple that were kind of fun. Dick Schaap called in and Len Berman. But now, we get all these people that we've never even heard of calling in. So just tell them adios and good luck to you. You don't think Hank could be doing that to you?
Maybe. I mean, who else is connected to that many?
Exactly. Boy, I'm so glad he said that because I thought I was paranoid. But Hank, how
I can't believe Hank is really mad at you. I mean, you guys were too good of friends.
Oh, vicious. He really is.
Real?
He is vicious. See, there's a thing like stuff I do on the air. I would never. Well, I won't say never, but I can't think of an occasion where I'd want to get somebody in the business fired or create a real problem for somebody. But with Hank. Once you cross him, man, you're on his list, and he'll just go to the end.
I know Kane was on his list.
Yeah, he'll go to the ends of the earth to try to destroy you and get you fired, and just he's a vicious person. He really is.
I've never seen.
See, with us, it's kind of like fun, but with Hank, it's like venom.
I haven't seen that side.
Oh, trust me. But he is my best friend.
I hope so.
Anyway, speaking of good friends, the thing with Hambrick is really getting me very upset. I think
that's
that for real?
They're just putting them in the wind until they find somebody. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Really? He's gone?
He's just a question of when. As soon as they find somebody, they'll pay him off and adios, John.
Why? Doesn't he have a good hairdo?
I don't know.
You don't know?
What was that?
You notice the pause?
Yeah.
Thinking it over.
Something you don't want to tell us?
Well, it's not something I don't want to. It's just speculation. It's not that could cause some problems because it could be interpreted the wrong way. But I think that, it's just a matter of finding somebody to replace Hambrick, and then he'll be gone. And I think it's unfortunate, because, you know what? The best proof I have that I'm right about this thing is that when I talk to the other stations, they all say the same thing. We can't wait for them to get rid of Hambrick. He's the strength of the station.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah, so the other stations are more excited than Channel 4 about getting rid of Hambrick.
And it seems to me they're losing their identity. They let Brosmer go, who was outstanding, and then they said, oh, well, we made a mistake. Now they're going to do the same with Hambrick. Then they'll say we made a mistake. Putney's going over to Channel 10.
Yeah, he's gone.
They stuck Weaver in the morning, and they put the guy with a weather map on his face in the afternoon and at night. Oh, and the public just hates him with a passion. And then they got a bunch of silly people there laughing and puking, beside Tony. I don't want to. And, of course, Hank.
Well, yeah.
We shouldn't leave Hank out.
Well, Tony and Hank.
Like I said, a bunch of silly people.
Tony and Hank were there when they got there, but if you think about it, they have not made a good hire since they've been there.
No.
The people they've hired have all been.
Who's the new guy?
They brought the guy in from San Francisco. He lasted a year.
Yeah. The guy who had the tooth problem. He had that sibilant...
Jackson was his name?
David Jackson.
David Jackson.
Oh, he was terrible.
The last time I filled in for Kane, I guess, 4 or 5 months ago, and I had Dick Lobo from Channel 4 here, and the entire hour was spent with people just running down Cliff Morrison, and he got really no backing from Lobo. He says, well, he really hedged about it. It got so ugly that Cliff Morrison called up.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was upset. And I know people at the station said he was beside himself that day. Here's the general manager of the station sitting here while people are running him down, and he's not even defending him. So that was kind of ridiculous.
Tom, do you think John Hambrick is too good? Do you think that's
No, I don't think. No, I'm not going to get crazy about that. I don't think John Hambrick is too good, but I think he's the best thing about what they have now.
Me too.
And I think they're making a big mistake.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what anybody says. He's the best anchor in this market. You can give me a song and a dance about Ann. Ann looks like a warehouse. She's getting so big, and and she looks so matronly with those sweaters. It's like watching your grandmother do the news. I think Ann is like. There's some kind of a con job about it. In other words, she's been here a long time, and it's become acceptable to say, I watch Ann Bishop, and she's the best. She's not the best. It's like watching your great-grandmother doing the news.
Well,
she's not bad, don't get me wrong, but she's not like Hambrick. Hambrick is alive, Hambrick
he's very animated, and that's what people don't like about him. They say he's over-dramatic, he's too animated, and he's...
Maybe he's too animated for this market. Maybe we could have the comatose news, where we have a bunch of stiffs all propped up in chairs,
Well,
and somebody doing voices.
Six
in the
has got the cutest news team. You got to admit that.
Cutesy, Barbie doll.
I mean, between Giselle and
have you met
Barbara
Giselle? Have you talked to her? You
he
have.
wants to touch you then if you've met Giselle.
Nice.
Can I shake hands with you?
Oh, sure.
Oh.
She's a real sweet person.
She does it for me, Tom.
Oh, yeah, and Hank, too. Hank's got the hots for her big time.
Well,
Hank does it for him, too, by the way. Okay, let me do a little break here while we try to... Oh, Cox is back. Now, you're going to hold on this time, aren't you?
By the way.
I know.
Hello? Cox?
Oh.
What the hell is going on here? What do you mean he's back? Are these not working now?
I don't know. Avi's back in Israel, so it isn't him.
Hello?
Hello, Neil.
What is your problem? Are you some kind of a mental defective?
Yes.
Are you in your car?
Yeah, there's something wrong with his car phone, I think.
Yeah, well, we better talk to you now, and I'll do the break. Yeah, let's get it over with real quick.
No, the reason why I called was that you were talking about nice guys in business, and I thought it was my cue.
Well, you still haven't lost it, have you, Doc?
No. But yesterday, wait a minute, Neil. Let me tell you one quick thing. Since the dean is coming back today,
Dean.
The name of the station is perfect for it. The Wonderful Isle of Dreams. There'll be several people snoring this afternoon.
It's the Isle of the Dean.
I'm out of material. Good night.
That was it? You called twice for that?
Well, yes.
Well, good luck to you when the book comes out. You'll need it.
Well, good luck to you.
Okay. Bye.
I'm sure you'll beat me up when it does come out.
I sure will.
I
I'll make
appreciate it.
extra notice to do it. Bye.
Oh, good. Bye.
Bye. Boy, he is so chronic, isn't he?
Yeah,
just obsessed with
We're
this show.
sunny, though. I mean, I just won't
I didn't be calling you just
Be patient.
have no fear.
We're sunny in Atlanta.
I was in Dallas. 10:36 at WIOD. If you don't have sports...
Hello again, everybody. Tell my good friend Neil Rogers it might not be as bad as everyone thinks.
Okay, 10:38 at WIOD. Now, Johnny Dark, did we say he was coming in today?
No.
Or was that a joke?
About what?
Because there was a lot of food coming, or was it Rich? Now, then none of them are coming. They'd be too embarrassed because then Tom would write something in the car. No, seriously, you ought to do a little research on Johnny Dark because a man, I don't know what he does.
I know him from New York. I mean, I didn't know him.
I don't know what he does. He hasn't worked in years now. And yesterday he came in and we fed him once and he said, well, that was okay, but how about having Arnold's come in? I'm not joking. We had to have a second lunch for him yesterday.
Was he on WABC in
He
New York?
has no WNBC.
NBC?
Was he on any other one?
No, NBC.
NBC for about 5 minutes.
He was there when I was growing up.
Well, Joey Reynolds was on WNBC too, so that doesn't prove much.
No, you're thinking of someone else. Dark was at WNBC for about 8 years, and that would be in the 70s.
Yeah, the 1870s.
No, he was somewhere in the 60s, too.
YND,
because
Sarasota.
I came here in 72. I moved to Miami in 72.
It's not really...
NYQ.
We're trying to keep an audience here, okay? Let's not go through the history of Johnny Dark, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even Johnny Dark doesn't care. As long as he's eating, he doesn't care.
Who's bringing the food in today?
Maybe Arnold will come by and feed Tom
White
Jicha.
Castle?
Yeah, the Royal Castle.
Well, whatever.
Well, that's the end of that. Yeah, I bet you, even though he was here yesterday, Wayne would be honored to feed Tom Jicha today, wouldn't he? Because then maybe he'll get a nice write-up in the Sun Sentinel. Unlikely, Wayne, but give it a shot.
I stopped at a White Castle in New York when I was up there on vacation. I had to get off the highway and go to the bathroom. I mean, it was right through. I'm telling you.
What kind of a show is this? The Dean will be on it, too, okay? Now, you already ripped the Dean, so I guess we don't. What did you say about, like, some kind of a disease, like a yeast infection?
Yeah, he's a radio yeast infection.
Yeah, just
when
won't
you think
go away.
It's gone, up it comes again.
Like a bad penny. Just keeps coming back over and over and over again. Speaking of a bad dream, you mentioned something about WOLD. You took a vicious shot at them during the break.
Where did they find this guy, Charlie Manos?
He was a news kid with a real happy voice. I'm Charlie Manos. And they put him on because isn't that the kind of thing when you wake up first thing in the morning? Isn't that what you want to hear?
No.
Hi, everybody.
You know what it reminds me of? You know Cliff Clavin on Cheers, the guy who knows everything and knows nothing. That's what it reminds me of.
Really? Annoying.
That whole show is just incredible.
Annoying. It would be like hearing some idiot cackling in the background for 4 hours.
I mean, this is when I earn my money. You know, I feel like I've got to check these shows out from time to time just to see what they're up to.
Earn your money.
Goodness
but you
gracious.
didn't get a chance to watch Speak Out last night.
No,
on
I was in
Channel
the car.
17.
No, yeah.
Getting incredible reviews. In fact, if anybody saw it,
I saw selected moments of it.
Well, if they've seen it, they probably noticed the resemblance between what's his name and Roseanne Barr. Not from the front, from behind.
Alice?
Yeah. No, from. Oh no.
Alice and Roseanne Barr?
No. Alice and his sidekick.
Debbie.
Oh yeah.
Between what's his name, Debbie?
Debbie and.
Well, he's getting it all confused now, isn't he? You notice how when you listen to that station, all the gender identity is all blurred in there. You can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I love it when they talk about how they go out to nightclubs together, and I'm trying to think what the pairings might be in those situations.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other day I was saying something about how they were doing that thing on that rape case, and I was saying how Debbie always dresses tastefully. Well, you know, what can you do with a tank?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Exactly. It's a safe way to go. People get lost in it. Anyway, we don't want to do that. We don't want to make attacks because, like I said, the book is, this just isn't an exciting book. We hope to go up. We hope to do about a 20 or 30 share, and anything short of that will be very disappointing. And we know that Ranieri will hold his own.
He always does.
He always holds on to what he's got, and I don't, what can you say?
It's amazing.
Like a legend in his own
15
time.
years in the market?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And he holds that.
And we should
number.
probably be holding our own, and of course, on this show, we're used to it.
Well, everything flows along
there.
pretty well till about 2 o'clock, and then it starts.
Here we go. See, it takes a lot today to get him started, doesn't it? We better get over here, Wayne. He's getting vicious now. We better feed him something substantive.
Yeah.
Your fangs are out, Tom.
Well, there is that.
You know what it is? I haven't been here in about 9-10 months.
Maybe because you and Steve get along okay now,
I
right?
like Steve, sure.
Okay. Maybe you can accomplish what the rest of us have failed, okay? Because I don't want Steve to do badly. I think still somewhere in the back of his mind he believes I do, or that there's some ego thing. There's nothing in it for me for him to fail, okay? I want him to do very well. Because obviously if I come over here and Ranieri and Steve both do very well and increase off what they had before, then it's good for everybody. And the station does great. But the problem is Steve will not listen to anybody. And like you said before, he's kind of like one of these people, if you say it's day, he'll say it's night. So therefore, the people he gravitates toward are the people that I would just barf, like Rick Siderman and Ellis and all these other people.
Oh, yeah.
But not only that, but, I can't control who his friends are because I have nothing to do with that. But his show, he insists, like this week, Wednesday, he had Ellis Rubin again with his third show on that condo thing, which he's made into a miniseries.
Yeah, it was interesting the
into
first time.
Like a 20-hour miniseries.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I couldn't believe it. The man looks. Did you see him yesterday? He looks like 100 years old now. He's starting to look like one of the characters out of the Old Testament. No, Bob Kunst was on yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's got this graying beard now, and he looks like Moses or something. Moses in drag.
Was here and Sideman wasn't. I thought they had been joined.
Sideman's out. Sideman's
is he up in the other joint?
Out. Well, he's up at J&O, isn't he?
Is he?
He's up in the big time. Come on, get with it.
Well, that means he might have a shot to do.
But I mean, how many times? And like Farrell, I mean, forget whether you like him or not.
I had nothing against him until the other night.
Well, until I met him, and then I realized how he really was obnoxious. But the bottom line is this topical stuff, and like stations around the country, like Lassiter went up to WLS in Chicago, and they're doing the same crap with these boring topics. And then you read about
another discussion on abortion.
Wayne is on his way, by the way, from Arnold's Royal Castle, so you're in good shape. But abortion, and then didn't we read that article out of the paper about how they got a show planned on gun control and immigration? And I mean, what is wrong with these people? How much does it take to convince these people that the public has nothing left to say about these things
I think
anymore?
The book that comes out today will go a long way.
Like FTL, forget that there are not a lot of major talents available to put on the air doing talk, especially on a little station like FTL. But at least if you're going to put, and then they put Craig on doing topics. That's not his thing at all.
I don't know what I was on the one day we were talking about TV and stuff, but I don't, I'm
doing topics.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
That was never Craig's thing.
Never his bag.
Craig used to get on.
He
and talk
should be
about
doing fun and games, exactly.
The guy with the organ on 120th
The guy in his organ, yeah.
And it was interesting. You go back to I remember back to and you followed Craig and. Right, he did.
I did.
On Cat, right? You did like 1 to 4, and he did 10 to 1.
In the beginning, he did noon to 3, and I did 3 to 6. And then Sid Levin came to us and he said, "Well, got a great opportunity for both of you. I don't have any more money."
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you the honor, instead of doing 3 hours a day, of doing 4 hours a day, which was the KAT way of doing things, the snoring way of doing things. And so he was doing 10 to 2, and I did 2 to 6.
And I remember I'd be driving to work, and I could almost tell where I was on the road by who was on the phone. Was the babysitter, the woman with the cozies,
Bob Martin,
then the guy with the organs on 100, and then they'd all talk about having dinner the night before, which was great for those 4 people, but the rest of the audience, but
even in spite of that, until they just totally took over the show like a bloodless coup, in spite of that, he had a fun show. And Craig had good numbers.
And I like Craig. I think he's a super guy.
But to put him on and to put on these other people doing topics and screaming and yelling, nobody cares. I mean, even like the thing with the topless bars in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Ordinarily, that'd be a good subject, but nobody cares.
It's good for television.
No, but nobody cares about it in this town. They don't care about it.
The perverts go to topless bars and they're sleeping in the daytime.
Yeah. You said that. All right, let me do one more break here, and then we'll get into the really start ripping some people. It's 10:46. At WIOD, the unconscionable Tom Jicha, the radio and TV editor of the Fort Lauderdale News and Sun Sentinel, who used to be much more mild-mannered when he worked for Howard Kleinberg. But now that he's working for a much more open-minded organization, he's really letting it hang out, so to speak.
I'm working for the owner of the Cubs.
Yeah, that's right, the Tribune
Company team.
Okay, well, it's about time you change your allegiance anyway. That's why he was glad he said that Davy Johnson's coming back for the Mets. That should clinch it for next year. That should cinch it.
Davy's okay. That would have been a
Can't you get him like a little plastic surgery or something?
Well,
I mean, to have his right cheek on his arm, it's a little embarrassing.
That would have been such a Yankee thing to do, to get rid of him after one bad year. I just didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, but it's not just one bad year. There's just a feeling. There's an ambiance there, and I don't know.
He just let it get out of control. There was no control in that team. Everybody went their own way. Guys were going into taking their shower in the 5th inning and going home, and he didn't even know it.
In fact, Mandage was pretty upset about that because he said he likes to see the end of the game, and Jim, he likes to shower with the guys. Anyway, it's 10:47. He did a whole show on that, by the way, about leaving. No, he said that Tad Foote probably is one of these people who never showered with the guys. And wouldn't you think it was a little unusual if the president of the university went in to shower with the guys?
I would think it was really, especially. Would you?
But that Mandage, those guys who went to Michigan, man, they're all a little strange. Anyway, when you're proud of your home, you want it to look its best and stay in mint condition, but there are 3 things to consider When it's time to make home improvements, they take time, money, and specialized skills. So whether you've got a big job in mind, like maybe in Debbie Ellis's house, can you see that, huh? Like remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, or just a small chore to do,
Lighting the doorways.
like replacing a door. There you go. Classic design builders can handle it. I mean, even a monster.
And they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Okay, I'm sure you want to.
Yeah, Larry's getting married.
Yeah,
I had this great idea that, when he was on he was talking to Mike the other day, and I just had this vision that there they would be at the altar tomorrow night, and when I guess it would be the rabbi would go. If there's anyone who has any reason that this couple should not be joined together, the county clerk comes running in and goes, "The check now! The check now!"
Did that really come in your mind?
You are vicious.
It's only $50.
You're vicious.
Are you going to the wedding, Tom?
Larry didn't invite me. I
No,
can't understand
I'll be
why.
damned. Didn't invite me either.
Huh.
But he is coming by the building. He's coming down here the 27th. He was on with Mike yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. The shameless way. I know I commented on this yesterday, but it bears repeating over and over again. They had him on the phone.
That's when I heard him, yeah.
And Mike and Henry and Sonny, and they were just all tinkling over him, man. It was like...
and he thought Sonny was...
And I'm going to be honest with you, Ranieri and him never got along to begin with, okay? When he was here. I get that through the grapevine. I don't want to mention Calder's name, but I get I get that through the grapevine from somebody who was here at the same time. But, boy, they just... I don't understand that.
Did you hear when Sonny said, "Hey, Larry, how are you?" And he goes, "Arnie Warren!"
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Why does that name keep... Oh, report with a hot scoop. Okay. Hello?
Neil.
Yeah.
If you recognize the voice, don't mention my name.
Okay.
But this is a big scoop. This is a serious scoop. John Hambrick's office has been cleaned out effective last night. Everything is off the wall. 3 anchor people auditioned last night after the news with the woman anchor person. What's her name? I forget.
Susan Lichtman.
Yeah, that's right. You want to know who the 3 are?
Yeah.
Well, we know John Palmer, right?
From NBC, yeah.
Mike Schneider.
Oh, no!
I don't believe that.
Well, Tom?
Yeah.
You should have been on top of this story. Believe it.
I don't believe everything you said so far. I could accept somewhat, but Mike Schneider.
I'll give you the third name, and you won't believe that either. And if you want, it's your call. We could put some money up for our favorite charities. How's that?
No, go ahead. Who's the third name?
Glenn Rinker.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, that's
the only one that surprised me.
Now wait a minute. If Grinker comes in, and Bob Mayer have to go out because they don't have that many phone books for guys to sit on. What are they going to do? News and briefs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is hot. It happened last night.
Well,
and, it hasn't been in print yet, and you guys broke the story.
Well, thank you very much, but I'm distressed and dismayed. I like Hambrick a lot.
I was going to tell people that my Monday column would be on the radio ratings, but I guess I'm going to have to make some phone calls.
He's a good guy, and he's a good talent, and he's getting a royal screwing. He's too good for the market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all 3 of them were there last night, and as I understand it, so was Hambrick in the building at the same time.
Wow.
Which is a great touch of class.
Well, that would be in keeping with the way they've handled the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
appreciate it.
All right.
How do you like that for getting a scoop right here on the air?
I believe
it.
I believe everything but the Mike Schneider part, and I'm not saying that it's not true. Just that's the thing that I find them hardest to. Because Schneider's in a real great spot now. He's on the network national every morning at 6:30. What would he want to come back to this? I mean, isn't this the place that he went all over on the way out the door? And, he's on the network now, and God knows what that could lead to. He's in a great visibility spot. What would he want to come back to this, where he knows he's in a tough spot there, and he's going to be bucking his old pal Ann? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
His old pal Ann.
Yeah.
Doesn't that have a ring to it? His old pal.
She liked him.
His old buddy.
She liked Mike.
Did she really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as opposed to Jerry Azar, but Ann liked Mike. Well, that's all the information.
He photographs very badly. He looks like a ghost. There's no way they can make him up. Maybe if he could get Joey's makeup people.
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't talked about Joey's show yet.
Oh, God.
Well, it's coming on in 5 minutes.
Oh. 5 minutes is about all I've seen of that program.
It's beyond description, isn't it?
Well, the 5 minutes.
People attack me because they think I rip people just for the hell of it. I do it gratuitously, and that's not true. And Hambrick's a good example. I'm not going to rip him. The guy's getting canned, and he's getting a screwing. He's an excellent talent. I rip people who deserve to be ripped. And Joey, again, I like him personally, but I can separate that from the fact that his show sucks.
How did he get that?
I mean, his show on She
how do you go
abortive.
from failing on She
Well,
to
there you go
television?
again with another one of these local TV stations that they got all the answers, man. Why would they possibly put him on? They're looking for that big build-up for their 11:30 news, and they put on a giant bomb like that.
Yeah, there are people, there are people available that could. I mean, Stan would be better than Joey.
That's true. Although Stan on TV,
well,
maybe from a distance, from a long shot. Because Stan has kind of like a Bela Lugosi image, when he comes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there are people they could put on there that would.
Boris Karloff.
I mean, Greg Budell, for God's sakes. I mean, he's done. I'm just thinking.
Come on.
We're talking Joey.
Yeah, well, you do have a point. No, but there's no point in putting any local show on unless there's some point to it, unless there's something there. I mean, like the Something on 17. That's another one of these. It's like having Don Webb all over again. It's just a waste of everybody's efforts. They could put an old documentary on and just fill the time and get the same 20 people watching. If you're going to put something local on, do something different. I mean, Joey's show, you can't even describe what it is that he does, can you? What does he do? Besides trying to run around half naked and be 20 years old again.
What surprises me is
deduct 80 and maybe you got a shot.
No matter what else you say, Channel 10 is the best run station in this market, has been for years, and that's what surprises me. They knew they were going to lose Geraldo, and I'm surprised that they didn't have something better than Joey to plug in there, because they really do a good job of programming that station. And it's almost like the night before they lost Geraldo, they go, God, what are we going to do? And they started looking through the phone book.
Quiz show in there. They could put
anything, any syndicated show, black and white Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah,
that black and white Gilligan's Island.
Don't give them too many ideas. We're on during these hours now.
That's true. Yeah.
So we kind of like the fact that Joey is on there. In fact, we promote the hell out of the show.
Well, you know Joey. How do you get the job?
What do you mean? I know him.
Well, he's come in from time to time, hasn't he?
And kisses.
Comes in kisses, by the way, too. Several times. I can't stand it. What does that mean?
Well, I thought, I've never talked to the guy. I was going to do a piece on the show, and the only reason on him and, the idea and how it happened, and I didn't do it because someone else at the paper decided they were going to do it for whatever reason. They're going to turn it into a feature story. And that should be coming up, I suppose, any time now.
So I hope before the show goes off.
Well, that's what I told them.
They better get it on there real quick.
I have a feature in the Sunday TV book called TJ Q&A, and I answered a question last Sunday. People asked me, who is this guy Joey? And I said, this was actually in the column. I said, when I got your question, I answered it as quickly as possible, because if we let this thing right, no one will know who we're talking about. And the girl was writing the story at the paper. I said that.
He's vicious, isn't he? Dickie Farfel's got a point.
And despite everything we say about Ann and everything, Channel 10 is number one in the ratings.
And very well run.
Credit,
it's a tremendously well-run station. Yeah. If you think that they've been the ABC affiliate during ABC's darkest times, and they've still been the number one station in town. And they've been the number one news station in town now for 10 years.
That's right.
And why do you think that is? You think they do such a great job? Dwight Lauderdale, for example,
they do a great job for this market.
He's silly.
But he's
silly.
But the fact that they don't please you or they don't always please me doesn't matter. They do please the people. They're tuned into what the people in this market want. They've been that way for 10 years.
Yeah, but now that Ford's got hard copy, I think they're in a lot of trouble.
That could be. Yeah. And 4:30 with Anna or Squeak.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's going to put them over the top.
I think so.
And especially if Glenn Rinker comes back in, man. Look at that. Isn't that going to be?
This guy sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Sure did.
Well, then again, I was going to say, but it just seems so strange. But they do strange things over there.
They could bring in Mike Spindell to do the sports, Bob Mayer to do the business news, and Rinker, and they could all be sitting on telephone poles, seriously, and do like the midget news.
Rinker's not that short.
What? Rinker's about 3 feet tall. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
No, I've stood next to Rinker, and I'm short.
Yeah, but he was on stilts.
He's taller than I am.
No, he's not.
I think so.
Glenn Rinker?
Yeah. I would say Rinker's about 5'7", 5'8".
Oh!
No?
You got to be kidding me. Give or take a foot, maybe.
We're talking about the same guy?
Boy, this man is just...
you sure we're talking about
bad memory?
I mean, Bob Mayer, I know, and Mike Spindell, I know, but
Rinker, trust me, about 3'6", maybe. Okay, listen, we're at the end of the hour. Here's a giant in the industry. Is Henry in there today?
No.
Henry is not here today. Who is it?
Gail?
Gail, not so bright, is standing by. Boy, this is a rare treat with the 11 o'clock WIOD news. And then Tom Jicha, who is becoming more caustic by the moment, will be back with us. What's Steve doing this afternoon? Oh, that's right, it's the Dean. How quickly they forget.
Yes.
And when the Dean is on, nobody else needs to be on.
WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Complete live coverage of Hurricanes football tomorrow on News Talk Radio 610, WIOD. 10-9.
Hi, this is Larry King.
Do you mind if I sit back a little bit? Your breath is very bad.
It's 11:06 at WIOD. I just thought we'd play that for old times. Bring back a little nostalgia. And it's good to see Tom starting just a little pre-lunch to cleanse his palate. We like, no, seriously, we like to have our guests cleanse their palates with just a little something
When is
first.
the sorbet coming in?
And the sorbet will be in between this and then the Arnold's Royal Castle. So we have it all spaced out for you.
Diet Rock and Rye. What is that? I know what Rock and Rye used to be. I drank it when I was like 14.
Well, it's up there for you. I mean, anything we've got is for you because we got it all for nothing.
Remember when you were a kid and you always looked for these
Anyway, the book
drinks?
is going to be out at about 11:45 today. Now, isn't this the first time we've ever done this? Because you haven't been here for a long time. You haven't been on the show about 8 months.
Since January.
Well, you're our only guest. I mean, we've had Stan Major drop in, right?
The old days.
Yeah, Cousin Brucey.
And we had Cousin Brucey uninvited, yeah.
We used to have Bill Cosford. Used to.
No.
I heard that Cousin Brucey on the Best show.
The Cousin Brucey show, boy, he was the best. I'm telling you. And what I like the best, when he readjusted that wig, man,
it
was the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life.
He came on the TV press tour in that wig.
You remember the scene in La Cage aux Folles where they're at the dinner table and his wig starts falling off, sliding? That's what it reminded me of. It was like deja vu.
Last summer he was doing a show for Showtime, so he came out and he did the press tour, and it was like the talk of it was like the worst rug in the history. I mean, it makes Burt Reynolds rugs look really sophisticated.
Cousin. Now there's a real talent for you, isn't it? Okay, I better keep my eyes on this because we're not really. I don't want to take these boring calls. You know, one of my favorite shows is going to be. That's in the old days, okay? That's history. Nobody wants to do that. But if we do have a celebrity like Cox calling in, we can get rid of him real briefly.
Well, this is the first
that other call was good, though. Very depressing. Yeah. Very depressing. I think everybody.
Depressing, but not surprising.
Well, it's too late. You know, I would mount a campaign, but it's too late, isn't it? I'd have everybody call Channel 4 or write them a letter and tell Lobo what a jerk he is. Where did he come from?
He came from Chicago. He's not a jerk. He's a bright guy. And but he's wrong in this instance.
He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know this market.
Well, he's not calling all the shots exactly either. He's getting
I'd be very leery of people who come in from Chicago
to run a station.
Because Disney came from Chicago,
That's true, yeah.
Now that should speak for itself.
But he did hire you.
Well, he hired me, but that was only by accident.
He also hired Farrell, so
he hired Dickie Farrell. And he's bringing the Dean in today to pinch hit for Steve.
Oh,
that would be like putting...
Yeah, you know, he thinks a lot.
That would be like... I was going to say it would be like putting in Mike Bilecki to pinch hit for Ryan Sandberg, but Bilecki did get a hit last night.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed that.
Maybe it would be like Steve Blast to pinch hit for Mark Gray.
Or Steve Blast to pitch.
Wasn't Steve Blast the one who went like his whole life without getting a hit?
Did he?
I think so, yeah. I think he was one of those pitchers that never got a hit.
No, he's a guy that just woke up one day and lost it.
Yeah,
he
just
pitch anymore. He does the color on the Pirates. Now, I don't know if you ever watched them on S320.
Yeah, I do.
The most boring broadcast. Yeah. And, you know, they don't have big crowds, especially at the end of the season in Pittsburgh, and it sounds like they're in an empty room somewhere just talking to each other. It's terminal. It's awful.
Well,
but anyway, we don't want to get bogged down on that because somebody will get
a TV question.
Very upset.
Can I ask a TV question?
Sure. See how he's changing the subject already?
No. I have a question. I mean, is it okay?
I mean, it really, even when it's a ball game that's on TV, that is TV.
I didn't say anything.
Wouldn't it be great if Vin Scully is laryngitis
for the rest of the series
lingered for the rest of the series? Boy, I'm not that big on Costas, to say the least.
I like Costas.
Boy, I'll tell you, compared to Scully, that was great. It was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I've been down on Costas since the
I think it had something
series.
to do with the outcome. You mean on Scully?
Scully, yeah. Yeah.
A no-hitter, a perfect game.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I still can?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to.
I'll read that card again. If you don't shape up that postcard, I'll read it again for the people who weren't listening earlier if you don't cut the crap.
Everybody makes fun of me for reading these tabloids, but in the New Enquirer, October 10th, there's a big headline that says, Backstabbing Bryant Gumbel's plot to force Jane Pauley off the Today Show.
Yeah.
Now, USA Today comes out this morning, and the big headline is, Scott's Today forecasts cool front.
Yeah.
Now, do you know anything about this Deborah Norville?
Yeah, Deborah Norville is the heiress apparent.
Is that?
She is the coming star at NBC, and Jane Pauley got so annoyed that she went into the management, what I hear anyway, and she said, "You want Deborah Norville? You can have her right now. You just buy me out, and I'm gone." And I said, "No, Jane, it's not like that at all. You know, you're still our favorite, and you know Deborah's going to do what she does, but you can see. I mean, Deborah Norville gets to do things that the other news John Palmer never got to do. She sits next to him on the podium there on the dais, And she is the coming star at NBC.
Of the 90s. Apparently, this is their big...
And of course, it has everything to do with the fact of what a brilliant newswoman she is and nothing to do with the fact that she's blind and blue-eyed.
I'm going to do a spot for Toyota of Hollywood. I don't believe... Now, Lynn Freitas brought me these prices before, and I don't believe them. Okay? So I'm not going to do them. That's how low they are. But I would feel real bad if I gave money and found out she made a mistake. I mean, she's got prices here that are so absurd that I just couldn't possibly give money until I checked it out. You know what I'm saying? Are you following me? But I'll give you... Well, I'm serious. There are some that are just, it can't be possible. But if it is, I'm going to take like 4 hours out of the next week and just go on here and keep repeating them. But whatever you do, take the green light and go to Toyota of Hollywood. Okay, it's 11:14 at WIOD. We're here with Tom Jicha, the radio and TV editor of the prestigious Fort Lauderdale News and Sun Sentinel. Why are you looking at your watch?
I want to see when the ratings are coming in.
Oh, man, this man is
What is it, about
really...
a half hour now?
Mm-hmm.
This is almost like, you know, you asked
they're not, first of all, they're not going to come out at 11:45. Is that the time that they're sending him, or is that the time that they're going to be finished?
I don't know.
Can we find out about that? Is there anybody in the building listening? Find out what time they're feeding them, okay? See, because they come in a computer in the back, and it takes about 45 minutes for the computer to get all the information loaded. You don't get anything until everything is in there, and then it starts feeding out, printing out. So it'd be sometime between 11:45 and 12:30, unless the information is being fed at 11, in which case it would start coming in. So we'll find out which.
Yeah, you asked before. I've never been here the day they came in, actually.
Now, this is exciting, isn't it?
But I was, when the election, remember the election night I was here with you? Not here, it was over at the other joint.
At INC.
No, OLD when it's down in South Miami.
WOLD.
Down in South
I'm glad
Miami.
you mentioned WOLD, because quite frankly, you made some horrible comment about Charlie Matos, and which was understandable. But can you explain to me, of course, Dennis Collins, there are not enough negative things I could say about Dennis Collins and what he's done to that place. But this business of shuffling the deck. Remember they did that? In fact, he was there, too, with Lee at GBS. They did the same thing. They had this incredible failure. They were doing ones. They had that big 50,000-watt signal. And they just kept shuffling around. And Bev Smith and David Gold and the Dean and this one and that one. It was embarrassing. And no matter where they shuffled them, it was never... They had to do the same is true at WOLD. I mean, they went up a little bit in this last trend because naturally, anytime you make a major change like that, people will sample. Although I will say this, even though they went back up a little bit, their demographics continued going down. Their demographics are so old
you can hear that in the phone.
The Dean is a teenager compared to their demographics. Okay, and it's frightening.
You can hear that whenever they go to the phones.
Now, how long can that go on? I mean, I know you like Sandy personally, but let's.
Well, you want to know what?
Her show is terminal.
Sandy has not spoken to me, I guess, in more than a year.
What?
I don't know whether it's because I'm NG at the station or whatever, but it's like I've fallen off the face of the earth. I've had no contact whatsoever from her.
Now,
or anything
look at
else.
this. I want you to take a look to your right. I don't know. I guess I'll just assume this is coincidence, okay? Because there does happen to be food coming in again today from Arnold's Royal Castle. But you'll never guess who just walked in.
Ooh, cousins.
Johnny Dark. Oh,
good
heaven. Well, have a seat or two, John.
Near the food.
See, you said no.
We're clear.
I said he's coming back today. I mentioned yesterday that Tom would be here and that Tom had demanded a lot of food. And we would come through as we always do. And you thought I was joking. What is that? Is that for us? Is that a peace offering?
It's
Roxy.
CD you're going to want to play.
Is it? A CD. Well, I'll be darned. Maybe we could get Boom Boom to do what I
Seven songs on it.
Yeah. Seven super hits. What is it?
I don't think you'll play it. But
you don't think I'll play it?
Roxy
what is it?
music?
From Hot 105?
no, it's Roxy music.
Roxy.
Well, what does that mean? You know what that? No, we're all sitting here shaking our heads. We don't know what that means.
Call Stan, he'll tell you.
Roxy music. More than this, the space between. What is it?
More than this?
Nobody here knows anything.
You said this would change his opinion
Of Brian Ferry.
Oh, this has something to do with Brian Ferry?
Roxy music. Yeah, now it's all slowly filtering in.
If you get time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep it in the... Not today, not with Tom Jicha here.
The ratings
are coming in. That's why you
Dean
came.
is coming
And the
in.
Dean will
We
be here this
got to
afternoon.
check this John Hambrick thing out, too.
And the John Hambrick story.
John might
you
be
have some
listening.
what?
Doesn't John listen?
Radio stories?
stories.
Well, how are you going to tell them to us? You don't have a microphone. You give him your mic for a second.
Of
Or two. Move into these chairs over here, would you please?
Well, we could kind of do it like the Beatles or the Rolling
Now he's
Stones,
actually
do it on
talking.
microphone.
I was at the
Not
bank.
bad enough when he comes in and hangs out and then starts eating, but now he's talking.
I
Yes?
was at the bank today, and they had
Taking out or putting in? Do we have to ask?
they had Waxy on,
Yes.
and they ran a promo with Bill Stedman calling Waxy to guess the scrambled oldies. Bill Stedman is the program director of Magic,
Yeah.
and they said, you know, one of these things like, see, other program directors from other stations even listen to Waxy.
I can't believe he did that. Really?
Huh.
I heard it with my own ears.
Pretty exciting, huh? And
okay, that was
no,
it.
well, no. You start out slow and then you move up. I'm sure there's a big story coming.
I hate to tell you, that's it.
Oh, that was it. You said I have a couple of radio stories.
I'll think of the other one.
Oh, okay.
Blind Mike has better stories than that.
What a shot! Oh, wait a minute. Wait, look.
Some jingles?
Oh, look
Did
what
I
I
play a
just
jingle?
found up here. Oh my God! Don't let me forget that cart that's on the floor that I can't reach over there. That one that you keep pretending you don't see is there.
Green Eyes, get this jerk off the phone.
That's Dickie.
Yeah, he's got 4 little carts up there. He's got his own spot in the rack. I just noted that. Huh?
I said I made more than that yesterday.
No, I didn't want you to get it. Because don't you see what it is? It's the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? And we have to.
He didn't play that last
Well,
time.
he didn't play it?
Well, wait a minute. I
We
guess
play it
maybe I
every
didn't
day.
get to get into the... No, the other night when he had on the cult and the witches and the whatever the hell it was.
Oh, no, tonight he's got satanic bedwetting on.
And Social Security. If that
That's
doesn't-
when Mom comes in and you say, the devil made me do it.
Yeah, and
Isn't that what that is?
Open phones and we'll discuss Social Security from 9 to 11. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's going to ask
No.
people for their favorite Social Security.
No.
Last night he
Isn't
did
that a joke?
You know what he did?
It's a joke,
You know what he did
Isn't
that
it
really
a joke?
peed me
Say
off?
it's a joke.
No,
please.
it's a joke. Well, you know, he did the doctor last night. But you know what he did that really annoyed me? He was talking about how he went to the doctor, and the doctor made him wait. And he actually said, you know, I'm not a waitress or some construction worker. I'm a professional. You know, he should have the class of a lot of waitresses or construction workers, people who
And a
actually go out
salary,
and earn
too.
their
And a
salary.
salary.
He's got a lot of damn nerve.
Well, it's turning into a banner day here at WIOD. We have Tom Jicha, and of course we have... The ratings will come down. See, I was right the first time. They're feeding at 11:45.
Oh.
Well, it's
Well,
better
we'll be
this
feeding
way.
at 11:45 too.
That's right.
Where's Arnold?
Well, I see it's already a little feeding going on in here, just a little preliminary activity. The ratings will come down approximately 12:15 to 12:30. So call all your friends, call everybody in the business, call the dean, everybody you know, because everybody's waiting with bated breath.
Well, the dean never had to wait for his ratings because
No.
they weren't there.
Well, when I'm on the air, no one else needs to be on the air.
Do you believe you're
He
going to
doesn't believe in
You're going to
ratings.
come face to face with the dean today?
Don't you know
Tom?
that people who never had any ratings don't believe in them?
Right. Yeah. they
Well,
know
yeah,
it's-
ratings.
Well,
Kind of
How long
interesting
did
when
he
it comes-
didn't last long in Philadelphia, did he?
Well, he claims he left. He didn't like it there, and he hated the
Yeah.
people, and he hated the
That
town.
happened a lot to him
It
lately.
just
hasn't it?
wasn't my kind of place, you dummies.
That's happened an awful lot, hasn't
Yeah.
it? It just seems to...
Well, he was here on several different stations, and it just wasn't the right station. You know, if he could just ever find the right slot. And when the numbers come in, I think it's going to have the trends going back a year to like when we first came
That's
here
right,
when
it
the
would,
dean
yeah.
exited.
Yeah.
And it'll be real interesting to compare like the 0.6 that he had in men 18 to 34 to the 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever.
Well, he didn't like this.
No, we don't like talking to those dummies.
We prefer the older
Yeah.
people, the mature.
Right.
By the way, Tom, that's Mr. Alan Burke.
Mr.
to you.
Burke to
Yes.
you.
Please.
Mr. Dean.
Mr. Dean. And then, of course, John Dean's going to be on with Dickie Farfel, so it ought to be really great.
And Dizzy Dean.
All right,
that's
we'll
a
take
whole-
that celebrity caller in a moment, but first we got some very important business here. It's 11:22 at WIOD.
Marshals on.
Well, that is a good point. Anyway, it's
Dick Farrell.
yeah, 11:26 at WIOD. A lot of people. Well, the amazing part of it, though, in spite of what you just said about all the talk stations or stations going talk, a lot of talented people not being able to get work.
Stan? We're talking about Stan.
I said talented people. It's just a joke, Stan. It's just a joke. He's another one now.
What happened to his national network?
He's still working on it. It hasn't disappeared.
It was supposed to come out in August.
Now, look, I'm telling you, give the man some time. You don't do those things overnight. For a guy who's been out of work for as long as Johnny Dark, this man has got more shots than everybody. I mean, it's one thing if you're working and you're doing pretty well, you can take some shots. But when you're like on the bread line, when you're at the soup kitchen and you keep coming in to eat free every day, you're just not in a position to start jerking people around. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we got about an hour, a little less than an hour to go, and we're going to be taking numbers out of a hat like they do over at Birch. Maybe we get some celebrity callers on the line, some really important people we haven't heard from in a long time.
Yes, wow. Anyway, Tom, I have a question for you, something that's bothered me for a long time.
Boy, we got the celebrity callers today.
Like I said, people we haven't heard from in ages.
Now, when he suggested everybody run out and see Pumpkinhead, I did it. Okay? When he said...
Wait a minute. When who suggested?
Steve.
Tom's best friend.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
Are you picking on Steve again?
No, I'm not.
Go ahead. He's not here today.
I just want to know what he bases his selections on. The movies he touts the most have got to be some of the worst movies ever.
Well, why are you asking Tom that question? How the hell does he know? He's got bad taste. Tom already said he's got bad taste in Friends, so why should he have good taste in movies?
Tom, let me ask you about how bad is the movie Victims, or have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, no, and I have no plans to
I can tell you how bad that show was yesterday, though.
God, it was horrible.
Who was this other guy he had on there yesterday? He was ridiculous. Boy, he made Kuntz seem like the Rock of Gibraltar, this other guy he had on. And Kuntz, I swear, looked like Moses in drag, man. Didn't he look about 100 years old? I can't believe it. And he came in here, and then, of course, I'll get in the car outside, and Steve is telling him, well, Neil just ripped you for 4 hours.
That would have made good television.
Yeah. Maybe Bob can be on the Debbie and Alice show if they can squeeze him onto the set.
Oh, that'll definitely be one of their topics.
I would imagine so. Yeah, Queen for a Day.
There you go. Anyway, what about Sea of Love? I want to see that tonight.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What? You don't do movies?
No, I do TV.
Why are you talking to him about movies?
Every time he's on Steve's show, they're always talking about movies.
Every time I'm on Steve's show.
No, you're thinking you got.
I've been on Steve's show.
Oh, you're talking Bill Cosford. You don't know your ass from your elbow, Paul.
I've been on Steve's show twice. Once was the day with you, and once was the day I hosted it myself.
He thinks you're Bill Cosford.
Oh, that's what it is.
No, if I was Bill Cosford, I wouldn't be here.
Boy, you are. I just can't believe you. Chronic is one thing, but chronic and confused.
Paul Harvey Jr.
Listen, I finally figured out who's leaving. They're recording my conversations with you and leaving them on my answering machine.
Oh, you did?
Somebody's doing that. Yeah, I figured out who it was.
Who?
Ernie mows my lawn on the weekends.
Yeah.
And the other day he came in for a glass of water, and I'm almost sure he copied down my phone number.
I wouldn't be surprised. I bet you half the socks were missing from your clothes hamper, too, weren't they?
That and all my toilet
and I'd check out for that toilet paper to see which way they're hanging on the roll there, too, yeah.
Are you going to read Ernie's numbers if he has it?
Oh, believe me, they'll be some of the first to get on the air. Trust me. Depend on it.
I'll tell you what, though. Ernie sounds good compared to you-know-what.
Compared to what?
Say it, Paul.
Richard. Dick.
Oh. Little Dickie.
Little Dickie.
Oh. But he is loud, though. You got to give him that.
Yeah. Well, he learned that from working with Lee Fowler up there in JNO.
Radio for the hard of hearing.
Okay.
You're right. Okay.
Good day.
Good day.
Oh, man. Talk about confused. He thinks he's talking to Bill Cosford about movies.
I didn't know where that was coming
from. And this is supposed to be one of our semi-intelligent
celebrity
callers. That's Paul Harvey Jr.
Why, we used to have a better class of celebrity.
Wow. Well, the audience is crumbling,
where's Dave Johnson and Tom Jicha
today. They'll be down here.
They'll
be calling in.
4
They're
weeks
obsessed. They are obsessed with the show, which I just can't believe.
Yeah. Oh, Durkin's a big fan. I know that.
And Johnson, they both are. Yeah. Johnson did a race. Did you hear the day he called the race, the make-believe race for the Derby or whatever, which one ever? And he was using all the names of the people here instead of horses, and Fat Rich on the outside and the bird flying down the middle of the track.
I came in second.
Yeah.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, he knew every character. Yeah, they're just obsessed.
Well, you're big in the press box.
A giant in the press box.
Yeah. Dirk listens. Hi, Dirk.
Dirk. Well, Dirk is a great
big
American.
Fan.
Now you're talking a guy from Michigan, okay?
Yeah, big harness guy.
Big harness guy who knows what it's all about, and Wally McElmurray and Joe Marsh and Donnie Hall. He knows racing at its, when it was really something real. Anyway, that reminds me, Pompano's opening tomorrow night. I'm going to do that spot in a couple of minutes, but you'll be up there.
No, I won't. No, I'll be at the Dogs tomorrow night.
No, I don't mean tomorrow, but I mean occasionally.
Oh, during the season? Oh, for sure. Yeah, I have a friend who's does really well up there.
Really?
Butch Strong, yeah, he's a trainer.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy who started me going to Pompano. He was my neighbor when I first moved to Miami.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had a great meet last year.
Oh,
won a lot of races.
He was my first best friend in Florida.
Next to Hank.
No, I mean before I even knew who Hank was.
Before you knew Hank. Now that's saying a lot, isn't
Hank
it?
Goldberger?
One thing about Hank, Golddigger. One thing about Hank, man, he's just about everybody's best friend, isn't he?
Except me.
Well, you're next. You're on the list. Do I want to take some of these calls?
No.
How about this? Well, this one might be good. Hello.
I said no.
Oh, you know why? Guess what line it's on?
Yeah, I said no.
It's on the Boca line.
What? How could I ever guess?
We haven't mentioned a word about over here. Which direction are they? Here? I get
7.
Here, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Who? SVN?
SVN.
They're doing.
Well, wait a minute.
They're
over
making
here,
money. I didn't know you were talking about GTR.
Oh, I see. Well, I forgot about them because the music quieted down a little while ago.
So we got here. You couldn't hear yourself think.
Yeah, boy, we better pray, especially with Yom Kippur coming up in a couple of days. We better pray that GTR goes up a little bit because Wise is just not a happy camper these days, boy. He is not a happy. Last friend they went.
Well,
boy,
big number. We'll have to get to those numbers right away when they come in. Maybe the monkey will.
And the 18 to 34 male numbers, I sure hope we get those in today because we were right. No, seriously, we were right on the edge in midday of going ahead of GTR and 18 to 34 men. Now that would be embarrassing for.
Maybe that's why they're
AM.
sabotaging you.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're cranking it up.
We have a tough time getting those numbers. It's really difficult.
Maybe they're trying to bleed into here in hopes you'll bleed into them.
But you haven't. Well, they're already bleeding. I saw their numbers, but you haven't said anything about 7. We've talked about every. You even mentioned Channel 6, which is pretty amazing. Not a word about 7.
They're doing well now. They're trying to sell this show, TV news, that would be like Cops, but with a TV news show. Rick Sanchez apparently is going to be the star of this thing.
I mean, it was incredible. I was going to take the dog out the other night, and I went to the window and I looked, and there was Rick Sanchez was peering in my window.
Yeah,
and the Channel 7 van was out there, and I couldn't believe it.
Well, they're going to they got a new show that they've got in the works called America's Unknown Mysteries. And what it is that you call up and you squeal on your neighbors, and then they come around and they catch you.
Excellent.
And they give rewards.
That'll be real good in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Tom, have you seen the Crime Watch show they put on in place of entertainment
The one with
tonight?
Ike Pappas?
Yeah, at 7:30.
I saw the pilot for it. Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
Well, that's they'll just keep putting these things on until they all burn themselves out.
Boy,
there must be about 10 of them now. Crime Watch, Crime Look, the Crime Beat.
Incredible show.
You got Cop Talk, isn't there one of those?
Really?
Yeah, there's like on Sunday night. I think Sonny Grosso does it. Cop Talk. Channel 10 had it on for a while, and between that and the Current Affair and Inside Report and Inside Story and
Outside Story.
Jock Talk is coming up soon. Oh, a little note for Tom there. Is that anything subversive? Anything?
Well, it could be significant, yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
It could be. Oh, my goodness. Ooh. You want to go call him during the break? I'm going to do a break now.
Cousin.
You can go right in there. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
And you got a call for off the air after I do my spot, okay? It's waiting for you.
For
on
me?
The bat line. Oh, listen, we got things really cooking now.
Okay.
This town is on its rear.
I might have a major news break when I get back.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody hold on to your seats now. Especially if you're close to the floor like Bob Mayer. I like Bob. He's a nice guy.
Me
but
too.
Just for little stories. Anyway, this Saturday night, that's tomorrow night, the gates open, and it's a brand new season of great harness racing at Pompano Park. John would like it up there, even though he doesn't care about the racing because he loves free meals. Oh, are we back? Wow, that's right, it's a short break. Okay, you're going to have to say goodbye to Miss Thing there on the phone.
I got to run, G.
Tell her goodbye.
Good to hear from you.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay.
G. Michael McKay.
All right. No news yet?
The speak is not available at the moment.
Really? Well, but they just called you.
Yeah, but now they're in a meeting.
Oh, really? Well, you already said where it was. You don't have to give me like he's mouthing like you already said Channel 4.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got the message.
Yeah, cool.
You didn't say Dick Lobo, but you said Channel 4.
Yeah, well, it's not Lobo, but it's the person who will call me is now meeting with.
It's him and Boo and a dog named something, named Hambrick. Oh, that really frosted my ass a little bit.
So it's either going to be a denial
they
or
are. No, how are they going to deny?
Well,
he's gone. His desk is cleaned out.
Well, if we can trust that call.
Oh, yeah. Believe me.
Hambrick should call us. He's called in on this show.
Well, it would be tacky. I wish he would. I mean, I'd love to talk to him, but, geez, I think he would feel uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we don't want to do that.
I'd love to have him on the air.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel he's the kind of guy who would want to do that. Maybe he is. I have no idea what his relationship is over there, but I'd sure love to have him in here if he would want to do that. He called about the Dion album that
I heard that, yeah.
He just is obsessed, and he ran right out and bought it. And what can I say? Really, it's a shame because the guy is good. I don't get it. One of the problems in this market, in the business in general, but especially in this market, if you're good, boy, you got a problem.
Yeah.
That's why I've been able to stay on so long.
Me too.
Yeah, well, you especially.
The living proof.
Yeah. Boy, look at Ricky Ticky.
There you
go.
Man,
he's like
look at Irene Richards.
What's happened to Johnny?
Well, not bad enough. 20. Yeah, he is working on being bad, though, and trust me, he's pretty close. He's getting there. 21 till noon at WIOD, so we covered all the TV stations that count, right? Channel 2 was even here filming, taping, or whatever that was all about.
Taping.
Cosford did not show, by the way.
Shocking.
Although it was interesting that Paul Harvey Jr. did call in with some movie questions, though, just in case he had shown up. That would have been good. And you ripped Steve pretty good. You ripped Dickie Farfel into ass. We covered WOLD. Haven't discussed much about FM. There's nothing to say, is there?
Not a lot. I mean,
we talked about Hot 105, and I don't understand what that means. Now, see, here's a big fan of Hot 105. It's his favorite station.
No, I just said that EDR is claiming that they had some dirty tricks going.
Oh, and I heard something yesterday about Hot 105. Now, again, it's just a rumor.
Yeah,
and they used to say this about my show, too, so I'm very reluctant to buy into these things. But somebody was telling me that they're having a great deal of difficulty selling time, even with the big numbers they've got, because they're perceived as a black station. And they don't feel that they are. Well, no, they're trying to get an enormous audience and pick up a lot of black listeners as part of that audience. But they're trying to be like a mainstream station, and they're being perceived as an ethnic station, and they're not having success in selling mainstream advertising. Now, that's again what I was told.
I've heard this.
Everybody's
not confirmed either.
Huh?
I wasn't able to confirm this dirty tricks thing either. But
they have a lot of spots, do they? And he listens to the station. I don't.
I don't know why that would be, though, because black music has always been kind of on the cutting edge of what would become mainstream music a few years later.
No, this isn't black music that's like
rock and roll was
this isn't like Motown. No, this is, I don't know what it is. I can't describe it for you.
Well, it's not heavy rap.
Mr. Know-It-All over here just insists that it's just tremendous and it's marvelous. There is nobody else I talk to who has anything good to say about their music, okay? Because basically I don't know who those people are who listen to that stuff.
But do they play like Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson and all the big hits?
No, they play Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
After 6, though, it's unlistenable. Yeah.
So I don't understand it. And Power is strictly still doing their ethnic thing in spite of all their protestation. And I know Tanner and Cox are listening right now.
Yeah, they're going heavy for the Latin audience. I mean, that's their whole thing. Well, it's probably good business in this market.
And Zeta's still on the air, which has got to be one of the most incredible.
You ever talk to anybody over there, Tom, over at Zeta? INZ?
Are they still on the air?
Come on now, how about INZ? They're still on the air, barely.
Oh, yeah, they're doing something this week about kids. They're talking to parents of kids who killed themselves or killed each other with guns or something like that.
Well, kids who shot their radios because they couldn't
like that. Maybe that was it.
Were listening to anymore.
But that's what they're doing.
They are still on the air, though, huh?
Well, yeah, but you see, they're where they want to be, Neil. They want those 1-4s and 1-5s.
That's what I was
told. When they had the 5s, they had to worry about billing.
A lot of problems.
Things like that.
A lot of problems. Very complicated when you get
people and the whole thing. Yeah.
Failure is easy to cope with.
Sure. I mean, taxes and all these. You got to have accountants to count the money.
They want it quiet over there. They want it calm.
No, but seriously, can you believe? I mean, I know what the answer is, but can anybody believe that Bolger and Mark Kuhn are still the program directors of those two stations, stations that have had such phenomenal failure the last year or two that it's mind-boggling.
When you think of where they were a few years ago when they were doing talk, when you were over there, and on the FM they had I-95, when they were doing, almost...
Oh, and I'm going to tell you,
7s and 8s combined, maybe even more than that. And now, combined, what are they doing?
They were making some serious money, too.
And now... But that's what they wanted. They said that they didn't want.
And see, they have this mentality that no matter what they put on, except when they were doing all news, which they loved all news, even though they had. See, way back they had big numbers with all news, huge numbers for a while, but then all news petered out. It wore its course, and no matter what they put on after that, they couldn't. The excuse was we can't sell it. No matter what it was, we can't sell it on the AM. And how long can you keep saying that? They couldn't sell me, they couldn't sell Stan, they couldn't sell Jay Michaels, they couldn't sell this, they couldn't sell that, they couldn't sell Nighttime.
Maybe they ought to get different salespeople.
Well, there you go. maybe some different managers.
Wasn't Norman Kent? Norman Kent. Wasn't he over there for a while?
No, Larry Kent.
Larry Kent, right. Norman's right.
And Clark was over there for a little while, too.
He was programming, right?
Yeah,
programming the FM. Right after they took away, what's his name?
I don't understand. This is a very strange market. I continue to tell you, no matter what anybody says, the music on FM in this market for a major market is so pathetic that it's downright,
when you go to
it's
like
embarrassing.
LA, when you go to
you can even go to Orlando, and they've got an AOR station, 96.5, I don't know the call letters, that puts anything here to shame. Oh, gee, I shouldn't have said that. And they got an oldie station, Cool, in Orlando, which is outstanding.
Cool in Phoenix, too, that's a terrific station.
Well, no, but
that's with a K.
Yeah, this is with a C. But regardless of what it's with, who's with a B? But it's great.
Because Cool in Phoenix is one of the best oldie stations in the country.
Yeah,
it really is.
But why? Why does it have to be that way? It's so frustrating. Now you get most new radios in your car, you have 12 FM presets.
Because you got nobody with any guts here.
And you keep punching and punching and punching, and finally you say, I'm just going to slap a tape or a CD in here. I can't take this anymore.
They all somebody does something here, has some success with it, and then 14 other stations are copying it because they're not doing anything with what they have. And then they just split the audience. Look, she's a good example. What, 3 years ago, was it, that she was doing 5s and 6s? And then everybody started copying she, and now they're all doing 1.5s. But I gave up trying to make any sense out of Zeta and wins when
like this guy
when they said that your
door,
5s and 6s were screwing up their 1s.
When this guy next door here, every time a big record comes out and it's like #1 on the AOR charts, he won't play it. Like the Dion thing and the Roy Orbison record. And then what was the other one here recently that...
well, Poco he did play.
No, but there was another real big record here in the last month or two, and he won't play it.
Well, anybody can play music people want to hear. He's going to find the stuff that they don't.
That is a point.
I mean, what imaginations does that take?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you know that people like it, I mean, what do you need a program director to play to play a hit for?
That's an excellent point. I'm going to remember that when Spike comes in here in about a half hour with it. No, we hope they do very, very well next door. Not that we like them all that much, but... especially since
just improve the attitude in the hallways.
Yeah, and also to make everybody a lot more money and keep everybody a little bit calmer, you know. But I don't get it. I don't understand why FM. I travel all over the country, and you can go even to medium markets and hear much, much better FM, and you don't have to keep punching out.
The FM music here is brutal.
Awful.
There's not a stations that used to be decent just aren't anymore.
In fact, I'll tell you,
at one time was a great station.
I'll tell you, like FTL is a good example. There are AM stations that also sound like you're in Tueg or in Pahokee. Like FTL is a good example. I mean, that sounds like a minor market radio station, like a little league radio station.
Well, the signal's not too terrific either.
No, forget about it. If they had 50,000 watts, would it sound any better?
Yeah.
Same.
Really, just marginal, make-believe, little league, minor market sounding station. Too many stations. And now you tell me there's a new station?
There's going to be a lot more.
What do you mean, a lot more what?
There are about 3 or 4 more AM stations coming on.
On where? In English?
Well,
doing what?
With what kind of power?
50,000 watts.
50,000 watts?
Yeah.
Now, what's the station on 670? What the hell is that all about?
WWFE. It'd be nice if I had a mic.
WWFE? No, it would not be nice if you had a mic. We don't.
Perfect.
Wait a minute. Okay, so that's all they need to hear. The audience can relate. They hear you babbling in the background.
Explain this, okay? WWFE.
Well, I mean, you can't talk for a half hour without a mic. I'll give him the mic. Okay. See, he feels that he knows something about this business, and believe me, he doesn't. I don't care what he tells you.
Explain this. WWFE, 50,000
What
watts.
is it?
It's Spanish-speaking radio station.
Just what we needed is another Spanish.
Well, yeah, there's only 10.
You know, do you have any idea how far a station on 670, 50,000 watts gets out? You can hear them like a local in Jacksonville.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And
do we really need a Spanish-speaking station that goes that far?
See.
They could be running. What
we're trying to do is get a station that will go all the way to Union, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the the Mariel people went up to Union, New Jersey. So
my point is that they're wasting a lot of power. They could be running 1,000 watts and cover South Florida just fine. That's all. The other stations.
We gave him a mic for that.
The other stations that are coming on, there's all the clear channel frequency.
For what?
Like 880.
I know, and 1030.
And like I think 11 something or other.
1180.
There are about 3 or 4 more big ones coming. So.
And they're all going to
do what?
They're probably all going to be Espanol.
Oh my God! I kept hearing about this assimilation, and pretty soon we wouldn't have all these Spanish language stations, and passage of time that would all go away. Remember all those days we used to argue? It's not
I thought
happening.
it would.
And I still say they ought to take all the ethnic stations and have their own book for
I agree
specialty
entirely,
stations, and just have a book for English language, non-ethnic stations.
I agree entirely with that. I don't see where
Totally
they have anything
separate
at all.
ballgame.
Yeah, it is because.
I mean, look,
people like me.
We do very well, but I want to try to put it in perspective. You realize in Dade County that we have right off the bat 50%, or pretty close to 50% of the potential population in Dade County who are not going to listen to an English language station. Okay? Exactly, because an awful lot of them don't understand it, and a lot of them listen to the Spanish language because that's what they want to hear. Whatever the reasons. 50% of the county is gone. So how the hell do we possibly do these numbers that we do? If that was all taken out of there, then you'd see the whole thing in better perspective.
Yeah, because I don't think you're really competing for the same audience. I think it's two different audiences.
Not at all.
I mean, it's almost like baseball and football. It's like comparing what a baseball team does to what a football team does.
Yeah.
It's just a different game.
Well, that's
and
the
it
way
would be to them. I don't know why that. It would benefit them too because their numbers would go up in their own universe.
Oh, you bet, absolutely, and it would, no question about it.
The hell with Fidel. Does that help?
Yeah.
The hell with Fidel.
Comunista. Just calm down. Let's leave this heavy stuff for Dickie Farfel, okay? We don't want to take any of his topics away. And speaking of that, we have been very remiss today. At 2 this afternoon, filling in for Steve, who's out looking for a job. Now, what is Steve doing today? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but he's got a baseball card thing tomorrow morning down by my house.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's
counting his cards.
I don't know what he's doing.
Putting them all in nice little plastic.
But anyway, the dean will be here this afternoon, and when the dean is on, no one else needs to be on. And Mr. Suspenders in there ought to hang his head in shame that the dean will be on, because if you look back in the book, the dean is invisible. He's like Ray Milland in The Invisible Man. But he's a good friend of WIOD, the dean, so naturally be having a good sense of humor. We're giving him an afternoon and hoping that that'll stop the calls to Disney for a while. Anyway, 2 to 2:30 is open phones. 2:30 to 4:30, we talk about censorship in the media. And have they gotten out of hand at the TV networks? Fundamentalist Howard Kromis, that ought to last about 10 minutes, talks to Chris Hosford from the South Florida Coalition Against Censorship. And at 5 p.m., Laura Van Wormer, who's one of those soap opera people, calls to tell us the real sexy, lively, and steamy dirt on almost everyone in the world of TV news.
This is on the Dean?
With the Dean.
TV news?
Followed by Hank Golddigger on Sports Talk. Oh, my gosh, he's working right on the eve of Yom Kippur practice. I can't believe it.
That's Sunday.
Well, that's close enough for me. And then the Dickie Farfel tonight, one of your favorites. And a special segment tonight between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Actress Suzanne Summers calls in to discuss the perils of bedwetting.
And then at 9, we're going to... What do you like and dislike about Social Security?
You're just cruel. You're nasty. Rough. Although it does say that from 10 to midnight. The notch. Look at that. Look at the boy Gary. Just goes out of there breathless. He doesn't know whether to scream or eat a banana. He says, what the hell can I do? I try to put this big-time talent on there, and he just won't give me a chance. Well, we've given you a week, and trust me, it's not getting any better. Anyway, it's 11:51 at WIOD. Citywide insurance agencies want to make sure you know that the new Florida law requiring minimum liability car insurance is now in... Okay, it's 11:55 at WIOD. Rushing out of the control room. We've got a flash. Boy, this man has got a gigantic flash. I can see the way he's just barreling in here. Tom Jicha.
We have a vehement denial from Channel 4.
Oh.
All right, here's the story. Whoever they're claiming that was a dirty trick by someone and they said that they have never talked to Mike Schneider, as I suspected. They have never talked to Glenn Rinker. They have talked to John Palmer. Yeah. And the reason they're talking to John Palmer is because Hambrick has told them that under the circumstances he would like to leave as soon as they find a
Under
replacement.
what circumstances?
Well, the whole thing, how they got him twisted in the wind. I mean, they didn't put it that way. That's
so then how can they deny it?
Well, but Hambrick is there. His office is not cleared out. He had a day off yesterday. He will be on the air tonight. That's the official word from Channel 4.
He was on the air last night.
They said he had a day.
Well, I saw him last night with my own 4 eyes.
Well, then maybe they're lying about everything.
Oh, he was on last night.
Yes,
right.
well, I don't know. Then whatever. But That's the word, and I got it from someone that I trust, and they said that they suspected that was a dirty trick by someone at one of the other stations. They admitted they are talking to Palmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been in USA Today.
Yeah, and it's also been in the Fort Lauderdale News, Glenn.
Well, I just didn't get to that, Tom. That was the end of
living way the hell down there in
That was the end of my sentence.
It was in the National Enquirer too, I'm sure.
Yeah, and in the Star and the Tatler too. Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants.
But anyway, that's it. So they are talking.
And in the purple section of USA Today.
So that's an interesting thing. John Palmer, the guy's.
What?
He's like 56, 57 years old.
Well, Tom Gunn is doing weekends at Palm Beach. Which
that's
is a
Palm
bonus.
Beach.
That's a bonus for
You're
Palm
talking
Beach.
about the 50th market in the country.
No, I understand. First of all, John Palmer is not all that exciting to begin with. I'll tell you who's on the WOR now doing the news, who used to be on the CBS Morning Show. What is his name?
Oh, yeah, Roland Smith.
Roland Smith. And he's not that good. I liked the news better before when what's her name was on there, Sarah Kessler or whatever the hell her name was,
she
right?
Was good.
Sarah Lee Kessler. Yeah. She was good.
Yeah, she makes good cake too.
Yeah. Oh, nobody can beat Sarah Lee.
Yeah. Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, let's.
So that's the word. Hambrick's still there for a while, but he is going.
He's there for a while, but he's leaving, and it's very unfortunate. So they can say that it's, maybe it was a dirty trick to try to give him a little stuff on the side, but the bottom line is they're trying to replace him.
Yeah, I didn't think the Schneider thing. Yeah, the Schneider thing never made.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah,
because he does. He looks like from the Boris Karloff School of Broadcasting. He's got that real white, pasty complexion. It looks like you're. Everybody else has got normal skin color, and he's white.
First of all, like I said, he's in a much better position now at ABC. He's got national exposure.
He ought to kiss the ground that he's
Absolutely.
working. Okay? He's not good.
And the other thing is, any station that brought Mike Schneider back would have to live with what he did on the way out. And I would be the first. I guarantee I would write.
There would be no
column after column. Yeah, I mean,
there would be like if I were to leave Zeta and go to WIOD, there'd be no credibility. For all the things I said about Disney and about the management here at Cox Broadcasting, there would be no credibility.
But I mean, for those people that don't know, when Mike Schneider used to be on Channel 10, and he left about 3, 4, 5 years ago, and when he left, he said the reason he was leaving was that this wasn't a fit place to raise his children, and he was
going to New York, crime-ridden, and
and he was going to New York.
He was really interesting. He went to New York to live in the subway with
Bernie. He really just dumped all over the area, and he happened to live in an area where there was virtually crime-proof. I mean, he was down there in one of those rich subdivisions down in near not Cutler Ridge, near Saga Bay, over by Old
What is he talking about? Do you have any idea? He's like losing it.
No, he was. In other words, he lived in one of these real ritzy subdevelopments that had all kinds of security. And, this business. It was just
what you're trying to say is he was full of crap and he just used that as an excuse, and he was going for the big bucks, but he wanted to try to be a prima donna and be holier than thou. So if he tried to come back with his tail between his legs now, he'd have no credibility.
And the station would have to deal with that. So
that would be like the dean saying he didn't like the people in Philly and he hated it there, and coming back here with his beard between his legs.
That's right.
And he'll be here at 2 this afternoon, and just don't forget it. Okay, we got Chuck Meyer standing by. Old Chucky Meyer with the big noon WIOD news. Tom Jicha, the radio and TV editor of the Fort Lauderdale News and Sun Sentinel, is here causing more trouble than usual. And in this coming hour now, not only is Arnold coming with more food, but the numbers are coming this hour. So everybody strap yourselves in.
WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Talk sports tonight on Sports Talk, beginning at 6 on News Talk Radio 610, WIOD. News Talk Radio 610, WIOD presents Neil Rogers. To get in touch and talk, call 751-WIOD in Dade, 524-WIOD in Broward, or 655 and 278 WIOD in the Palm Beaches. Other areas may call collect. The opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily those of the station. Now, here's Neil Rogers on News Talk Radio 610 WIOD.
All right, now, would you control yourselves? No, we're not playing spots. We're on the air. Everybody just calm down a little bit. Dig right in. Take your stuff there. Mike's in here for 20 or 30. No problem. Look at that. We got BLTs. Wayne just went crazy today. Thank you so much, Wayne, from Arnold's Road Castle, for just making us really gesund in Pupik. Where's it located? Right off I-95 at 125th. Just a block off the expressway. It's easy on and off, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, 12:06. Tom Jicha is here. The book during these next 20 minutes or so. The numbers for the summer book, the Arbitron numbers, are coming in.
It's going to take a while.
What?
The word from out in the hall. It's going to take a while.
Let me say it again. In the next 20 or 30 minutes, they will be coming in.
I don't think so.
He just came in here and told us. Who told you that?
Boy, Gary.
Boy Gary and Bill Wise.
He just came in here and said in the next 30 minutes.
Who?
Boy Gary. What did he tell you?
It's going to take a while.
Well, you know why Bill Wise is kicking the plug out every 2 minutes.
You don't understand. You see, you just refuse. The man won't listen to anything I say, okay?
I'm just telling you what he said.
They started at 11:45, okay? And because it's a whole book and there's that much information coming out, it's going to take about 30 to 45 minutes. So about 12:30, which is 22 minutes and 40 seconds from now, woof, it'll probably be coming, give or take a couple of minutes.
Uh-huh.
Are you stealing from Chester? Are you stealing Chester's material now? Oh, you can't do that well at all. I wouldn't make that sound again if I were you, because people will start to talk. Anyway, so did we take care of you?
Boy,
today?
this is
I don't see you
wonderful,
eating anything.
Well, I can't chew and eat.
Come on, you can do it.
Can't chew and eat,
It's
right?
bad radio, but you can do it.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
What happened to that note?
Are you going to eat some of these? Because if you don't, I'm going to be really PO'd.
No, I am.
Okay?
I've been thinking.
Don't worry about what's on the air. This is that little special time of day on the show every day.
Every day when I'm riding in
ignore
the car and listening to you people doing this, I'm going, God, they never did that when I was there.
Well, we are today, okay?
Yeah.
Believe me.
And I was really hoping it would be Arnold that would come in.
Yeah, he is just
I love
phenomenal.
these things.
Well, we love him and Bernadette. They've been great to us. The best.
Boy, you almost can't even find the roll. There's so much stuff on this thing. Jeez. Boy, what? Do they actually sell these?
Yes, double bacon Neely's.
Boy.
Double Neely burgers.
Jesus, I'm surprised that they don't have road jams.
You know, the hockey games were on last night.
Yeah.
And I'm going to become a Bruins fan part-time because they got a player named Neely.
I'm a Jersey Devil fan this year. I got them at 25-1 in Vegas. So I took a small piece of the action on the Devils.
By the way, I
got
see
the
this
two commie defensemen.
log is messed up. I know that's unusual, Mike, but you notice how she's got the same live spot. So we'll move on to the next hour, okay? Just amazing. I beg your pardon?
I have a double chocolate one. Is that exciting?
Well, la-di-da, okay? All right, you want to take some of these calls now? Because now we've covered all the bases.
You know, they were talking about getting a hockey team here in Miami. Now, what would happen if they had a hockey team and the Devils came in with the two Russian defensemen? Would they let them play in the Miami arena?
No.
Well, I mean, there you are.
Nobody knows.
You know,
hockey is here.
all kidding. No, they're actually talking about bringing a hockey
Nobody
team
knows
down
what
here.
hockey is in Florida.
I think you're wrong. I
You
really
do?
Yeah, I do. I think hockey would do as well as the Heat.
Well, maybe.
But then I'd have to give up this job to broadcast it.
Yeah. Did you ever do hockey broadcast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
The best.
Yeah. Really?
If I
Better than
say
your
so.
baseball?
Well, yeah.
Which teams you do?
Rochester.
The Mercs. Yeah.
Now, Tom.
Yeah.
If we've talked about this on the show, so if Neil did play-by-play on Miami Hurricane baseball, just hypothetical, next
Neil
year,
should be doing play-by-play.
Don't you think I should do color?
Well, being the big baseball expert that you are, I mean,
Don't you think it would be a different type of broadcast?
Yeah, you could sit there and snarl for 3 hours. When is this game over? You know, what are these innings? We only play 5 sets in tennis. Why do they play 9 innings?
Yeah. I would sure add a new dimension to it.
Exactly.
Until Fraser came up and physically removed him from the booth. It's 10 minutes past noon at WIOD. The numbers will be in shortly, in spite of what some other people are trying to, some of these troublemakers who wander the halls looking for problems during the news breaks. Okay?
Looking for
They
problems.
will be in momentarily.
The man
any minute.
walked up to me
and said,
"It's going to take a while."
Well, so what does that mean?
That's all he said.
Well, he
to
was
me.
more specific in here, okay?
Okay. I didn't know he had been in here. I was just telling you what he said.
Well, I was telling you that as you were giving me your usual snarly, rotten, crappy attitude. Boy, you should write a column about putting up with his crap every day, boy. You think you got problems. Anyway, Toyota of Hollywood. Now, I'm not going to give those other, until Lynn gets her act. No, I sure can't, but, you have to consider the source.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it's 12:14 at WIOD. Thank you so much, John. Don't get carried away there. And the magic moment is coming any second now. Boy, we're sure going to have to clean this mess up before the dean comes in. Boy,
absolutely.
Leave it?
For the dean?
Well, first of all,
Come on.
What kind of a pigsty is this, anyway?
We know how far we can go.
By the way, are you eating all that BLTs? About 5 of them?
Would you like?
Well, I'll have
one.
a half of one.
There's one.
Well, what did you have? You want a half?
No.
Are you sure?
No, thank you.
Because it was sitting in front of your face, and I don't want to be accused.
Coincidence.
Well, I don't want to overdo today, because yesterday, boy, I just went crazy in here. What
we didn't eat back in those days. When
No.
Real radio. We used to read poetry on the air when I was on. What they're doing now. And of course, it was on tape, because I had better things to do, like sleep. You don't expect me to listen to myself,
like the
do
rest
you?
of my audience, I spend most of my time sleeping. Yeah. Okay, 12:14. Poor Dean, man, I'll tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Mr.
if the
Dean.
TV stations don't want to miss a bet, they ought to have their cameras over here when we pass in the hallway later.
Well, you say pass in a hallway. I'm curious about that. Is he going to come in here while we're still here? I don't think he'll do
Are we going to do a
really.
crossover?
Oh, Nick just loves the Dean. Nick is, he does. He's obsessed with the Dean.
Are we going to do a crossover?
No, I don't think so. No.
Like Sandy and Mike used
We might
to
do a walkover. In other words, step over the body in the hallway. No, Alan, it's just a joke, Alan. Don't get all emotional now. It's just he's all right in his own bizarre.
You know,
way.
Al asked Debbie yesterday when she was going to bring in those sugar cookies again. I think he got his women mixed up. Certainly, Debbie doesn't look like Sandy.
Well, Alice has had his woman mixed up for a long time. But that's another story. Okay, it's 12:15. Oh, here's somebody who wants to rip. Wait a minute. Is that something important? No. Something, a little thing that Nick... Oh, we've already got one of those. I'm not going to promote that kind of crap on the air. Anyway, Steve with one of these appearances. Man, Steve is appearing so much he doesn't have time to sleep anymore. Banter with the best. Huh? Thursday, October 12th at the JCC. What is that, the Jewish Community College?
I guess.
Oh, it is. I was just kidding. I was just making it up. The Jewish Community Center on Sunrise Boulevard Plantation, $7.50 per person. And banter with Steve. Why would they do that when they can listen to him for free every day? But I hope he makes a lot of money.
The next thing, he's going to be like the ball players. He's going to sit at a table and sign autographs for $2 or $3 a throw.
More power to him, okay? More power to him. I'm all for the talent in this business. Down with management and up with talent. Okay? Although I will say this. I hate to say it while you're here, but they've been really nice to me here. I know that sounds frightening, but
I'm not surprised.
Beyond your wildest dreams.
I've taken some shots and things.
Beyond your wildest dreams, they've been just
I'm not
incredible.
surprised.
And I hate to say that because it spoils the image of the whole show, but they've really been great. Although, well, you have to leave it open, because otherwise they start expecting you to.
A note every now and then about what's good and bad radio.
Here's a caller to rip Mr. Jicha.
Oh.
I hate Tom Jicha.
Really?
Yes.
Well, please go right ahead, sir. He's here. Ready for your abuse.
I don't know. He's from the Hank Goldberg School of Personality, for one. I know that.
I like Hank a lot, yeah.
Oh, he's your best friend, too, huh?
Second
No,
best
he's
friend.
not my best friend. He's a friend.
Next to Dick Farrell, he's his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you, right?
So what's your problem? You out of material already?
Yeah, I'm out of material.
Oh, weak.
Boy.
Very weak.
Oh,
What a disappointment. He was just trying to be Jean Provocateur. Here's a Hot 105 spy. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Hi, Neil. This morning I had an unusual experience. I had to take two high school kids to school, right? And the first thing they did in the car was put on Hot 105. There's something called the Mork and Mindy Show or something like that.
Mahler and Mindy. Mork and Mahler.
This was about the filthiest radio
Really?
I have ever heard. I mean, this makes Howard Stern sound like a choir boy. Talking about all kinds of wet underdrawers while slow dancing and all
Really?
that kind of stuff. So now, if
Well, wait a minute. Tell him to call Dickie Farfel tonight.
I mean, really, if the kids are listening to that station, I think there's more to it than the music. I mean, this was just. In fact, driving to work after that for about a half hour, I couldn't turn the station off. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
All right, Johnny Dark, who knows nothing about the business, so they don't have kids listening. I guarantee you that next to Power 96, and they may even beat them in teens. I guarantee you they're either number one or number two in teens in the market. Okay.
Right.
But Johnny Dark says they don't have kids listening.
It's the number one.
Who do you think is listening to that station, Mr. Dark? Adults?
It's the high school.
The Dean's audience.
Yeah.
Since the Dean left town, they've had nowhere else to go.
Mature adults, the Dean's audience, over 100. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for your report.
Bye-bye.
Okay. You are. I'm telling you, the man is so full of it. Adults are listening to that. Well, we'll see when the numbers come in. I guarantee you that the biggest chunk of their audience in the morning is teenagers, but, you don't ever see the books, do you? Well, then why do you just pick these things out of the air? We get the numbers. I'd be very glad to show them to you, although I'm not so sure you'd understand them, but I mean, they do come in black and white. They're all there. They have this enormous teeny bopper audience. All the kids listen to Hot. And I do agree that at night they have even more of these wrapped up rap crap people listening to all that junk they play.
I bet you can't beat some Kings in the morning.
I said they're probably number 2 to Power, or maybe even number 1, and Y100's in there. Those 3 stations are virtually all the teens in the market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ahead of Al?
What?
Ahead of
Alice. Well, just barely ahead of Alice. I'm not touching that line with a 10-foot pole. It's 20 past noon at WIOD. Tom Jicha is here. Johnny Dark is here eating again, which is just incredible. And look at this. He puts the condiments on. Jeez, look at that. He's squeezing out ketchup on the little Arnold's burgers, and he's going to put salt on there. The man
I wanted to put that on the dean's chair.
Yeah. Squeeze some of that on the chair before the dean comes in, because that'll really spice up the show. Okay, let's do a little break now, and this is quite a day in WIOD history, and you're a part of it.
Doyle Aaron is wide to the right.
Guy Foodie has his own TV show now.
No.
Yeah, it's on, what is it called? It's on the Dade County cable system. It's him and some guy named Gnarly.
The Dade County? You're talking about local access television.
I guess that's it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we watched a few minutes of it.
Anybody who walks in the studio can get that.
They sit there and talk sports and stuff, and
there's no commercials, right?
No.
You're not allowed to do commercials.
I only watched it for a couple minutes. Hey, Tom, I got a question for you.
Yeah?
You mentioned the Palm Beach station. How does a guy like that sportscaster on Channel 5 stay there?
I'm not that familiar with the state. I'm still living in Miami. If anyone's got a house in Broward they'd like to sell. Anyway, but I mean, I'm still living in Miami. We're looking all the time. So I don't see that much of Palm Beach television.
This guy, his name's Murphy. He's got this Wisconsin accent. And I mean, he doesn't know, he calls hockey the ice cube tray. He doesn't know the names of the...
Well, at least they talk about hockey. I was watching Channel 6 last night, and they do this foolishness where they got their new sports guy, and he's posing with the Sunset High cheerleaders, and he spends about 4 minutes doing that. And opening night of the hockey season, he doesn't even mention that it happened. No scores, no nothing.
Great. Typical.
I got one other question for you, Tom. Or all you guys. You guys are mentioning how you wish some stations would, be serious like that one out in Phoenix. I was talking with some people. What exactly do you mean by that? I mean, what can they do differently? I mean, they just play the music, right? Is that it?
It's kind of like pornography. It's hard to identify, but you know it when you see it. And the stations here, you listen to that Cool in Phoenix and the K-Earth 101 in L.A., they just really sound good. Their music playlist is good.
Well, I'll give you an example. You can tell, if you're driving in the car for a long time, for an hour or something, and you punch up a station, and you don't have to keep punching the button. When you listen to Magic, for example, or Waxy, you have to keep punching it out and punching it out. We did well?
Yeah.
Because they play crappy music. But the numbers just came in, sir, so hold on tight.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
I can explain the difference between cool.
You don't know your ass from your elbow, okay? Here are the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute now. What do
we have a trumpets blare here?
He probably stuck those in Rack Jr. over here, didn't he?
Who knows?
Who knows? Roger's got so much stuff here, man. Oh, yeah, he did. See, I know the way his sick mind works. Just a moment now. Have you got some time? All right, here we go. Well, I was right about one thing. Number 1, this is Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to midnight, 12 plus. Down from a 9, but still number 1 with an 8.3. Hot, 105. But down almost a point, Mr. Dark. You know what I'm saying? Number 2.
I pledge allegiance.
Oh, wait a minute. Number 2 with a down from an 8.7 to a 7.4, and this one doesn't even really count. W Life.
Yeah.
Okay. So evidently some people died over the summertime. Number 3. Up from a 4.7 to a 5.1. WIOD.
Wow.
Number 3. And if you take out Life, that means we're number 2 because nobody counts Life. Number 4, no speak of English, WQBA, from a 4.4 up to a 5. By the way, let me see. Okay. Well, this goes all the way back to the summer of '88. So we're going to be with the dean coming today. We can compare when our numbers come out. We can compare last summer to this summer. Won't that be a lot of fun? Okay, number 5. From a 5 down to a 4-4. I bet Cox won't be calling back. Power with a 4-4. Okay. Yeah. Now, isn't that interesting? In the summer, wouldn't you think that
they should
Hot
do better.
and Power would do better, but they didn't.
They should.
Because there are more kids here, and a lot of the older people
they
are
have
on
all day
vacation.
to listen.
Yeah.
And we did better.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Number 6. Oh, wrong one. Here it is. Down from a 5-1 to a 4-1. And didn't I also predict this? That's the one, Magic. And I said they did. Look at that, a full point drop to a 4. Oh, he's happy about that. Wow. Followed by WCMQ, which is No Speak in Inglés Español. I don't even know what that is. Is that a music station?
CMQ?
FM. 3-9 to a 4. Followed by... Oh, it's still there. Down from a 4-7 to a 3-8.
Oh, big drop.
Y100.
Whoa.
Woo!
Whoa, we have to fire another program director there.
You fire Super Dave. Look what happened.
Yeah. We did that last break, didn't we? We're okay, right? No, I'm getting lost. All right. Oh, my God. Dennis has done it again. He pulled one out of his head. He pulled that rabbit out. Up from a 2-5 to a 3-6. WOLD.
Give credit where credit's
All
due.
right.
That's a big jump.
Wait till those demographics come in a little bit later on from the West Coast. But, boy, I'm sure they're going to say we've turned the corner.
Yeah, they got it now.
Oh, wait. Now, where's
Boy,
that?
Ann Bishop's popular, ain't she?
Just a second now. This calls for something very special because they're really doing it. Okay, to a 3-6.
That is, you got to give them credit where it's, I mean, that's almost a 50%.
Last summer they had a 4-8.
Oh.
And the demos are going to be deadly. All right. Okay. Well, you don't have to. How long does that go on, I wonder?
I think it's an endless loop.
All right, no. Well, you relax. Life was down. I gave that if you were paying attention, but as usual, you're busy filling your fat face. And when your blood pressure goes up high enough, it plugs up your ears and you can't hear. Now, cut it out. Followed by Wacky Radio Mambi from a 3-8 to a 3-5. Joy stayed flat with a 3-4, followed by Kiss from a 3-2 to a 3-3. WINZ, ladies and gentlemen, from a 3-2. Just a minute now. Am I going to be able to find this in time? Pretty unlikely, isn't it, with all this? Oh, jeez. Almost get a hernia. Well, we have a cart for every station in the market.
Kicking ass with 50,000 watts of power all over South Florida. From the Keys to the Palm Beaches, even out to the Bahamas. This is WINZ.
They get
From a
the
3-2 to a 3. Ooh. Tied with W Love from a 2-4 to a 3. So
Glenn's old
bit of a
people there.
comeback.
Glenn's favorite
I'm
people.
so happy for
From a
them. Oh my.
Boy, I don't know if we should talk about this.
You better put your seatbelt on, Tom.
Wait a minute. Just a minute now.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't heard anything about next door.
Just a minute. I want to find.
Crank it up and.
Yeah.
Something here that might.
My.
Yeah.
We don't have any razor blades laying around loose, do we?
We have one, and we're going to hide it.
Yeah,
Is
please.
this the Dean's theme song? Yeah, as a matter of fact, we had to borrow it.
This is when the Dean used to be big at those roller skating rinks. You do those personal appearances. All right, now it's double time. Your partner and
down from a 3-5 to a 2-9. WGTR.
Oh,
moving right along from a 2-4 up to a 2-9.
Kill that monkey.
Whoa. Did you hear what I just said?
Oh. She was up
from a 2-5 to a 2-9.
Tied, ladies and gentlemen.
GTR.
Ooh. First time in history.
Boy.
It's never happened.
Oh, Bill will not be in a good mood today.
I think there are going to be some really amazing sounds coming from this building. Waxy FM from a
That's gonna
3.2
be a
down to a
good weekend.
2.8. You hear that? Waxy with a 2.8?
Yeah.
That's our lowest number. WEDR, this is going to shock you from a 1.4 to a 2.7.
Wow, that's double. That's a big jump.
Which goes back up even beyond in the winter they had a 2.5, so they've gotten back a good chunk of that audience. WQBA FM, Super Q to a 2.7 to a 2.6. Zeta, it is shocking, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't tell me they broke a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
From a 1.7 to a 2.5.
Well, once they got you out of there, they got
turned
your
the
act
corner.
together.
Well, it only took a year.
That's strange.
1.7 to a 2.5. Well,
That's a
last
monster
last
number
summer
for
they
them.
had a 2.4.
That's
But that's when we were there.
For them.
It is a monster number for them, and maybe if they continue with no commercials, they can continue just building like a giant. WTMI from a 2 to an pseudo-intellectual 2.3. WXDJ for a 1.7, they stayed flat. WEAT. WFTL from a 1.4 to a 1.1. WQAM from a
Big
point.
band people get their
WQAM from a 0.7 to a 0.8.
Bill did it.
Well, we don't. Hey, I want to. No, come on now. WKT from nothing to a 0.8. They didn't show in the spring book. And that's about it. So that's the whole day. That's Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to midnight. We'll get the day parts and the demographics shortly.
Where's Surf?
Super Surf? I don't know if they're showing up or not. Let me just check that out again. Of course, most people can't pick it up on their radio. Oh, here's somebody with a bone to pick with us. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you, Uncle Neil?
Okay.
Listen,
What's your bone, sir?
Well, my bone is this. I went out and I purchased Wolfgang Puck's. I love that name.
Yeah?
And
Pizza.
I purposely bought the sausage one, which you highly recommend.
Excellent. Everybody I've talked to loves it.
It is good on one hand.
But, on the other hand...
On the other hand...
Well, if you wash that hand first.
Right. Thank you. Who is that that just jumped in and said those nonsense?
What, sir, we're short on time. What do you want?
Well, I don't think it's worth $4.85. You've got to buy two. You told me that two adults can eat one.
No, I did not. No, I did not. Some lady called and said that, okay?
Excuse me.
I said it's good for one person.
It is good for one person.
Well, so what's wrong with that?
Well, because...
You want to eat for $2.75 a person?
No, because for $4.85...
Call up FTL, sir. We don't talk to schleppers like you, okay? If you can't afford $4.50 for lunch, go to hell. 12... Well, isn't that true? He wants lunch and dinner, I guess, for like $4.50. He's... Yeah, send him one of those little burgers, okay? It'll be in the mail along with a gift from my dogs. Okay, so we've got the main numbers here. We had a nice increase there to a 5-1 at WIOD. And we'll start getting the breakout, the day parts, and the nitty-gritty of that momentarily. So I told you, didn't I say around 12:30, and you gave me a bunch of crap?
I did not.
You want to apologize now and retract your intemperate remarks?
They were not intemperate. I just
Didn't he say it was going to be sometime, as if indicating when I said 45 minutes, well, I wouldn't count my numbers before they hatched. Isn't that about what you said?
Why don't you go out and ask Bill Wise what he thinks of the book?
Oh, I wouldn't go near him. Yeah. Well, we must have gone up in this day part because Tanner, the only time he called us was that time we had in the, what was it, the winter book? When we got really screwed in June? In the spring book, when we got screwed when we had,
the last
went in one trend from a 7.6 to a 6.3 in the book. Now, here he comes. Wait a minute. Before we take the break, ladies and gentlemen.
This is my copy. Oh, men 18 to 34.
Men 18 to 34?
No.
Well, this is 6 a.m. to midnight. Hot with an 11.9, down from a 14.9, down 3 points. GTR a 9.7, she with a 9.1. Oh, boy.
Good.
Power with an 8.1, Zeta with a 7.2, IOD, AM with a 6. In men 18 to 34, 6 a.m. to midnight. I wonder where most of those men were listening to what they part. Wildwood 100 with a 5.1, Love with a 5.1, etc. Okay, we're going to take a little break, and obviously the numbers are pouring in from the West Coast and all over America, and we'll be right back.
The undefeated
so far, but I have a feeling it's going to be pouring. The next will be 25 to 54, I guess.
There's been so much
this
shocking
is going to take
news
some
already.
time.
There's been so much shocking news already. What a show.
But you're not listening to me. It's going to take more time. Of course, we still have an hour and a half, but there are more different demographic things coming over because it's a whole book, so there's a greater breakdown.
I told you it was going to take a while.
But obviously, the Isle of Dreams did very well. We're very excited about that. Now, let's see where we stand. We had a 6. This is the entire station, men 18 to 34, which is a very young demographic for AM. We were certainly far and away the number 1 AM station in that demo, and number 6 in the whole market with a 6. And the next closest competitor Not on the second page. WMBM had a 1.2.
What?
WINZ had a 0.9. WNWS had a 0.5 in men 18 to 34.
Wow. God.
And we had a 6. That's the entire station. So, trust me when I tell you.
Their audience has to be 90 and above.
Oh, their audience is post-mortem.
Yeah.
I call it the Matlock syndrome. You know, like Matlock is a big, successful show with big numbers. They're all over like 55.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. This is what they'll make big inroads this afternoon here because their audience they have to remember Alan when he was a kid.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So where's that going to leave Sandy? She's going to be talking to herself.
She will. Yeah.
Today, yeah. Wow. What a shame, Sandy. I can't believe that she hasn't spoken to you in over a year. Used to be like a chronic regular on that show.
And
What is that?
I'm forbidden from the station. I'm sure of that.
It's nothing. I should have known as much.
But no, I haven't. Maybe more than a year.
And isn't it ironic they used to be banned from over here?
Yeah, I've been banned everywhere at one time or other.
In fact, I understand that Broward, if you're thinking of getting a house in Broward, that the Fort Lauderdale City Commission may take you up right after the topless bars now. That could be next on the agenda.
Well, that's all right. I'll just use juice in my house then. I won't have any.
That would be
beer.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we're sitting here waiting. I feel rather foolish because shouldn't we be getting some stuff in?
I told you it would take a while.
You are.
Well, they're trying to get past the paramedics treating Bill out there, and
would you stop picking on him? Although I will say they're going to have to do something. Okay, we want them to do well, only so we don't have to listen to them bitch all the time.
They'll probably
and,
just
they don't have to siphon all
the
money off of the AM in the future now. But, boy, that's incredible. She has tied them.
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't be talking about that too much, should we?
No.
Because I'll probably get a memo from Bill Wise about...
that's almost as bad as eating on the air.
Bad radio.
Yeah.
But you would never have believed that, though, would you? 2-9.
No, she's making a little bit of a comeback.
Big comeback.
And,
I think
listen, Zeta with a 2.5. When you stop and think about it.
Well, again...
Plus,
I
mean, that is
I think you're
shocking.
seeing a little bit of the music stations coming back in the summertime. It seems like they're just spreading out. But I bet you if you added up the entire music audience, it's probably bigger than it has been. It would seem that way.
Really?
But then, how do you explain?
You know what he's talking about? I think he's just beside himself. He doesn't know whether to scream or eat a banana. Now, there's so many between the Hambrick thing at Channel 4 and the amazing developments we've had already here. He just doesn't know what the hell to do. He just
no, I'm trying to figure it out. It's
just ready to race back to the paper
running
and
it
get
by
his venomous fingertips typing
onto
on
that
that
machine.
word processor and just going crazy.
Yeah, I got to get copies of that.
Yeah. Oh, you can. You can have copies, no problem. Make extra copies for Tom back there, okay? He's a good friend of WIOD.
Mike always takes care of him. No, he does.
Like the
Mike's
Dean.
Boy, I feel
Mike who?
Mike Disney.
Really?
Yeah. I feel sorry for a sec. Cheryl.
I saw him in here one day this week.
Cheryl. When the book comes out, she generally faxes me those page by page, like 80 pages, and I feel, and then I call up and I go, I'm missing one.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. It keeps her busy. We like keeping Cheryl busy because she's under tremendous pressure up there. Okay, should we take a call or two while we're waiting for more of these to come in? I feel embarrassed because they should be. Here we go.
Here we go.
Boy,
Another
what
page.
timing.
What page we got now?
One page he's bringing in. One page. This is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday, men 18 to 34.
Don't tell me Debbie beat you.
This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, that we've been waiting for. This is shocking. Are you ready for this? I'm going to turn that off because I can't stand it. Number 1, men 18 to 34, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with an 11-6 share, WIOD. 11-6. Number 1 in men 18 to 34.
And what did the Dean have last year? The Dean had a 0.4 last year.
Did he really?
Yes. Yes, Sonny. He had a 0.4, and he's pretty proud of it, too.
In other words, you got 50 times the audience he
You
had.
impudent ass.
Did he really have a 0.4?
My hand. Look at it. Look at the sheet, okay? We're number 1 in men 18 to 34 on an AM station in this godforsaken geriatric market. It's the most incredible thing in history.
30 times
number
the audience.
2, and we beat him by over 2 points, by the way, WGTR. Shocking. They had a 9.5. A 9.5. W Hot with a 9.1, dropping from an 11.3. We also beat Hot in men 18 to 34 in midday, John. I just mentioned that in passing. Followed by She with an 8.7, Power with an 8.1, Zeta with a 6.9. I think those numbers are perfect for them. Love with a 6.5 and Y100 with a 5. We're number 1 in men 18 to 34 on an AM stinking radio station. How do you like that? Even though I don't know anything about the business or anything about the market.
Whoever said that?
The Dean.
The Dean said that.
And the Dean knows.
And little Dickie Farkle probably said that, too. Didn't he say that? That he doesn't have any idea why anybody listens, et cetera, something
Well,
like
he doesn't listen. He just knows everything that goes on.
Well, he just has the psychic. Well, that's why I had the psychic on Monday, so he doesn't have to listen. He can just get the drift of it, so to speak. And drift, I think, is the operative expression in his case.
Well, I think if we do a crossover with the Dean, we should ask him about those numbers.
You can do it, okay? You stay and do it.
I mean, all kidding aside, from a .4 to an 11-something is 30 times the audience.
I know.
30 times?
11.6.
So it's 30 times. To be precise, it's 29 times the audience.
Well, you ask him about it when he comes in.
Yes, you asked the question, Sonny, you dummy. It's 12:44 at WIOD. Even Johnny Dark has grabbed the microphone now. He's almost expired from overeating here this afternoon.
I just wanted to make an observation.
Yes.
I think that this is the Bird's book.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember back, there was a lot of bird bashing going on.
Well, I don't think you can discount the Alex Bennett factor.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, where's Alex when we need him? And, of course, those 2 weeks that I was on by myself when we had 15s and 20s, that could have had a little something to do with it, too, but we don't know. The Bird is obviously a part of this, probably like the .6.
Well, that would still be,
the Dean, .4.
Thank you, Tom.
A very astute observation. Now we know why he covers radio and TV.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom, very much.
Boy, I mean, bingo. He just jumped right in there and picked up on that immediately while the rest of us would still be fumbling around with our cigars. So anyway, that's really shocking. Boy, did you see the look on Boy Gary's face when he came in here? The same guy who gave me the memo on it's bad radio to eat on the air. Now he's beaming and bringing me cigars, which this is a perfect one for a Boy Gary suppository. Wouldn't that be great?
It looks like something Stan Major would smoke.
Yeah. Trust me. In 11.6, number 1, we not only did we beat GTR in men 18 to 34 midday, but we beat them by over 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
I just mentioned that.
Is that the first time you're number 1 in that demographic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were number 2. Well, let me put it this way. The Dean was number 27, tied for 27. When we came here, we went to number 4 in that demo, then number 3, number 2, and now number 1. So we've increased one ranking each time. And next book, we're going for number 1/2. So that's the Dean, of course, number 27, not a bad number. If there were 900 stations in the market, that wouldn't be too bad, right?
How does that number, am I on? How does that number compare with your INZ number? It's very close, isn't it?
I don't remember INZ. I had a lobotomy since that time, and I'm trying desperately to forget that entire experience. I don't know. Men 18 to 34, I don't know.
Pretty close.
I think on Zeta we had like 15 or something. Didn't we? 15 or 16 in men 18 to 34?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we can tell.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, you know how you trace the Dean, the numbers midday, you should trace the Zeta numbers.
Oh, this is
in the morning.
Sorry, but these are Gonzer's numbers. That's why I was a little confused when I looked at Zeta.
Gonzer?
3.9 last summer. Midday. Now that he's gone, they got a 6.9. So the Gonzer factor may be helping Zeta, of course, in the fact that they're not running any commercials. It's commercial free and listener free. That's what they're looking for, and I think they're well on their way. So GTR, boy, look at that. Boy, oh boy. Last summer they had a 19.8 in men 18 to 34 in midday, and now it's a 9.5. And what can I say? There was some other great music in here that I was hoping I would find, but I can't find anything that I want now. Roger's just... Oh, here it is. You don't think they would take offense to this, do you? It was those Who tickets, Spike. That's what did it. That's what helped you turn the corner, baby. Those Who tickets. What goes around
comes
around.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a little break here. It's 13, well, it's about 12 minutes till 1. We'll be right back.
The Sports Collection and the #1 sports fan announce another big free autograph session. Fans, you can get a free...
Hi, this is Larry King, and they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Okay, 12:51 at WIOD. You're right, they are coming in very slowly today.
I told you ignored me.
And
gave me...
Well, you were right, as usual. But, so the only thing we have for this state part is that one page, but it's sure good enough for... Why don't we just stop looking at them right now, okay, and just go home? Anybody got a match, by the way? I got this great cigar here from Boy Gary, who said it was in Louisville. We used to use these as suppositories, he said. And he should know, too, boy. But here we are, #1, 18 to 34. Now, aren't you impressed?
I'm impressed.
Okay, you can leave now, Tom.
Okay, I'm going. I'll get my copy. Actually, I've got to get up to the paper and get this written.
What? No, you're not leaving now.
I have an early day.
Don't start giving us this baloney. You're going to stay right here until the dean comes in, okay?
Yeah, we want you to talk to
because I'm sure he has some real... You've really been brutal to him.
Once before, when we had this kind of a crossover, didn't they have, like, someone waited outside while we left?
Yeah. That happens with me a lot. When Steve follows you, you know, you got to have, like, yesterday, Kuntz did come in, but we both avoided speaking to each other like crazy. He was waiting for me to speak first, and I was hoping he wouldn't, and it worked out great.
Oh, I spoke to him.
Did you? Well, last night. But, no, that does happen. Of course, Siderman has been out there at times, so there are these people I just...
I won't speak to him.
Try to avoid like the plague.
Well, is the dean going to have Ellis Rubin on today? Because he hasn't been on Steve's show since Wednesday.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, Bob Kunst is going to be on. No, I told you he's having fundamentalist Howard Kromas, who's a real piece of work, and...
Meanwhile,
this other guy.
Well, I'm thinking of it. Have you seen, Ellis's latest thing with the satellite where he's going to sue the Dolphins? You know what he's going to do with that? He's going to wind up screwing all of us. You know how? Because what's going to happen is the NFL is going to demand that the games be scrambled everywhere. And so everybody who gets so these bars that think they're being smart hiring him to get an order that the Dolphins can't order the game blacked out.
Screw all of us.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to scramble every one of the NFL games, and then nobody is going to get anything.
Well, when Mr. Disney brings the numbers in, then we know that it must be something very meaningful. This is, what is this? So 6 to midnight, this is 25 to 54. Hot went from an 8.8 to an 8.9. Magic from an 8.4 to a 6.8. That's almost that's a 1.5 plus drop. Life from a 4.6 to a 5.2, followed by Joy, Gloves 94, a 3.7 to a 4.8. Boy, that's incredible.
Had a good book. Had a good book.
Are you depressed?
No, it'll go back down.
Oh, okay. CMQFM 5.4 to a 4.6. WIOD 4.3 to a 4.2, so we stayed about flat there in 25 to 54s. Zeta from a 2.7 to a 4.1. Boy, they have turned the corner there at Zeta.
Finally.
GTR 4.5 to a 3.8. KISS 4 to a 3.8. Followed by QBA, Waxy, QBA AM, EDR with the 3.3, Power with the 3.2. And down it goes, all the way down to QAM from a 0.7 to a 0.6. Waves with a 0.6.
Where's WOLD on there?
WOLD, 25 to 54, you expect to find them. They went from a 1.2 to a 1.
Just behind Radio Marti.
Yeah, just ahead of WOFF.
Yeah.
And wins, let's see, wins from a 1.3 down to a 1.2. So their demographics are pretty ancient, okay? With Zeta? What do you mean something's funny? What does that mean, something's funny? That they got a fluke? Is that what you're saying? Well, but it's good, though. It'll keep them going for another month now. You see, that's the way this business works. I don't have to tell you, but they justify, boy, we've turned the corner. We got rid of all those pain-in-the-ass personalities. We're cranking out the music now. And we're really doing it. And they are doing it. What? We can't say it on the air. We mean nobody...
What lady used to do in the vest.
We have nobody with a match in this building. Now, I don't buy that for a second. With a lighter, with a match, with anything for this wonderful cigar that I'm trying to sit here and smoke to celebrate
my... smoke-free environment.
Yes. Oh, that's what Gary Lawrence used to say. Look what happened to him. Yeah, remember he was fanatic about that.
Remember the hot went up 25 to 54.
Hot went up 25 to 54? From what?
An 8.8 to an 8.9.
Oh, boy, this man. You think he had...
I call that flat.
You think he had stock in it or something?
You would think.
You would think that he's trading his station in Maine for a piece of Hot 105 and a piece of apple pie. And he said he would trade it for either one of those, preferably the apple pie, especially if it had cheese and ice cream on it and maybe a little ketchup from one of those condiments. 12:55, Tom Jicha's here, and I'm hesitant to take any more calls because I know that they're coming rushing in. Look at Lynn. She looks like she knows what planet she's on. Oh, she wants food. Do we have some? You don't want these here, do you? These are kind of like, oh, thank you so much. Look at KT coming through, and I sure hope they're going to spend some money. Wouldn't that be nice? Please, take all you want. They're here just for you. This is the slowest they've ever come in, though, isn't it? They're just like creeping and crawling in here, man.
Told you.
A very slow process, so that's good. It'll keep some people hanging around for the 1 to 2 hour.
The book's still on Zeta's lap.
What's that? What are you talking off the air, Tom?
Zeta's thing is just, it really is. That's a strain. You know, they're always at right 2-3, 2-4, 2-7, all of a sudden up to 4-1. I mean, you almost wonder if the books just didn't fall right.
Yeah, it'll go back down next time.
Good.
It'll balance out. Trust me.
You know, whenever you see a major jump one way or the other, up or down, and there's no logical reason for it, you just have to figure that maybe it's just where the books, you know, they fell in their right.
That's correct.
Look at this. A request for a feast from Australia next Thursday at noon. The Australian rules football people, the Foster's Cup people, are going to bring us a bunch of food. Well, we'd be delighted. This is from Bill Mullen. We would be delighted.
Is that like tailgating? What is tailgating? You get
and they're bringing in some koala bears and something. It's going to be great.
Vegemite sandwiches?
Yeah. So that'll be next Thursday. That's terrific. I think I have an appointment. No, that'll be terrific, Bill. No problem. So we're sitting here kind of stalling for time and killing some time, I guess, because we're just waiting for more good news here, right? More of those good numbers, boys and girls. And I know that... well, where are those morning numbers already? That's what we want to see for Uncle Mike, and we want to see if Calder had a little increase there to keep him pacified and calm so I can feel free to call him later and not get screamed at.
We want to see Buttles' numbers.
We want to see old Greg there. We know he had a big comeback, which I know pleases you no end.
Alice, of course.
Alice with those well, they had to do well, 12 plus. Again, their demographics are horrendous. They're just like the end of the world, but... that's another one. See, WOLD. That'll be another station that'll say, oh, look at this. We're turning the corner. The 12 plus is way up.
Do you know
the demographics are...
NWS tied KAT?
That's 25 to 54 for the entire week. Yeah, with a what, 0.5?
No, a 1.
A 1. Is his mic on?
Doesn't make...
No, it is now.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. You know that Wexy beats QAM? Wexy.
That's a religious station, isn't it?
It's a
that doesn't have
gospel religious with a signal worse than FTL.
Wow.
Look at their NWS. They go from a 2-0 to a 1-8 to a 1-4 to a 1-2 to a 1-0.
Yeah, I would say it's a pattern, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it was a different.
But Charlie Meadows will make that difference in the morning. You'll see, Tom, when we get those morning numbers.
Boy.
Okay, well, listen, that's going to about do it for this hour. I apologize. The last few minutes have dragged a little bit here, as they say on the Joey Reynolds show. But, well, listen, you can't have everything. The numbers are coming in slowly but surely. I guess it's kind of like covering the date election.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you get that, you wait all night.
The pony kind of broke down.
It used to be great back before you had computers when you actually used to get votes.
Yeah, I like that. That was fun. And the presidential elections, boy, you'd stay up, there'd be actual numbers on there. Now they come on, they got a check mark. Okay, it's all over. This one here, and this one there. Go home, it's all over. It's no fun anymore.
Yeah, they really have taken the fun out of it.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to fix this way, too. Sure. Anyway, that's going to do it for this hour. We got Chuck Meyer standing by. Chuck, of course, a part of the great WIOD family that had this powerful 5-1 in the summer book, and we're delighted to have him here because he's an honest-to-goodness human being and eats a great meal, too. And we'll be back with the 1 to 2 hour, and then, of course, the Dean. The Dean.
Probably on his way right now.
Probably on his way right now, and the Dean in a limousine on his way to the studio right now to fill in for Steve this afternoon. Oh, I forgot that's the big 1 to 2 hour. I guess we can live without that.
No.
Although we had some reaction, though, from the people at GTR to the book. But we just want to play a little piece of it on the air. 106 at WIOD. Tom Jicha is here. Now, of course, Tom immediately is going to comment. This is like the analysis after the elections or after the, isn't it? Instant analysis.
I feel like Martin Agronsky.
Mm-hmm. Only you've got teeth.
Yeah. Otherwise,
they're not in a glass. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I think we ought to mention who'll be following us.
He is. Is he upset? Boy, Alan, I hope you're listening right now. Remember, Alan, you and I just go back a long time. I've taken 2 of your jobs now, but it's not my fault. But it's Jicha, the one who's really just unmerciful here. Just a vicious attack. I can't believe it. Picking on a guy of that age.
I'm respecting.
It's like picking on It's like picking on Grandpa.
He's the dean. I'm.
None of us.
All done out of love and respect.
I believe I could get up and just walk out of here now, and he would do he'd just turn him loose, man. Do the whole hour.
Imp.
Yes, dummy.
None of us would be here if it wasn't for the dean.
That's for sure. That's right. He's kind of like the Marconi of talk radio. Don't you understand?
That's what Steve-O said.
That's what Steve said yesterday.
I heard he was there when Marconi was doing it.
Now,
hurry up, I've got a show to do.
All right, just a second.
Invent that radio.
We got 25 to 54s now, 6 to 10 a.m., and Hot had a 9-6. They went up a point. They've been going up and up and up in 25 to 54s. They ought to just be making millions of dollars and retire and close the thing down. Magic went from a 7-9 down to a 5-8. Good enough for a second, but boy, that's a big drop.
Boy.
25 to 54s. QBA a 5 AM.
Yeah.
CMQ-FM a 4-6. No speaker de inglés.
No.
We can see that assimilation really shows up. Joy with a 4-6. That's up a point. Life with a 4-5. That's up 0.8 of a point. Radio Mambi from a 5-2 to a 4-4. Waxy with a 4-3. Kiss. Zeta in the morning, 25 to 54 from a 2 to a 4-1. And I bet you the Colonel's going to call him and say, see, I told you so, but it's too late. Because most of that, the crew was there during most of this. And now it's like they went from 17th to 10th. Love from a 3-4 to a 3-8. Attaboy, Greg. Is Greg in town or is he off again? You know, when the book comes out, he generally lays low. GTR from a 5-2 to a 3-8. Y100 from a 5-2 to a 3-6. IOD 5-2 to a 3-5 in the morning. Mike, well, what can I say? EDR a 1-8 to a 3-3. It happens to the best of us, Mike. A Power from a 2-9 to a 3. She from a 1-9 to a 2-2. And the Winds from a 2-0 to a 1-6 in the morning, 25 to 54. 1-6, I think that's the lowest in their history. W Snooze from a 0.9. Alice brought that way up to a 1.
See the Charlie Meadows factor.
Yeah. See, you're laughing, Charlie Meadows.
He brought those young people in. They like hearing people on helium.
Come on in.
What is it?
This guy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
well,
come on in.
Our condolences to you. It's got to get better now. Has to be better. Boy, he looks like he's...
You beat us, man, 18 to 34.
Oh, not even close by 2 points. We know that. We have that sheet right here.
Be a number 1 and number 2, right?
Yeah, that is. That's right. We got a great combo, okay? Absolutely. We're going to love having those pimple spots on here, those acne spots. Is Pat Boone still doing acne statin? We can get him on here. What is that he's giving
This is 25 to 54 mornings.
Mornings.
You already have
that.
I
just have that here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that all that is? Well, there must be more in there.
This is the whole package.
Oh, a packet. Okay, let me see that. Can I see that? Because you're handing it to a man who hasn't got any idea what any of it means. Well, it'll get better, Bill. It'll be great. Look at that. Even Joey just stopped by to congratulate us. 10 to 3. Here we go. 3 to 7. Okay, you ready? This is 25 to 54. Hot from a 9 to a 9-1. Flat, right? Wouldn't you call it flat?
I would.
He would get hysterical. Magic 8-6 to a 7-3, followed by Life, Love 3-4 to a 5-3. How do you like that, Irene? Stick it to him, Irene. Joy, GTR 5-2 to a 4-2 in the afternoon. Zeta from a 2-7 to a 4-1. I have a feeling that those diaries at Zeta just fell in the right places. Kiss 4-2 to a 3-9. Waxy 5-0 to a 3-8. CMQ FM IOD 3-9 to a 3-7. 25 to 54 in the afternoon. Well, what did we do? We went from a 6-4 to a 6-9 in 25 to 54. Power 4-1 to a 3-5. How about our, let's see, Y100 4-6 to a 3-1. Sheet 2-8 flat, same number. WNWS. Now here's where they're really doing it. 3 to 7, 25 to 54. Now that Sandy's on in the afternoon with those sugar cookies. A 1-9 to a 1-2. Wins from a 1 to a 1. Consistency is their byword, okay? And the motivation station even cracked it with a .6.
Good Lord.
I sure wish we'd get the 12-plus numbers for the day parts. That would be real nice if we ever got that, wouldn't it?
Told you it'd be
How come we're getting 25 to 54 day parts first? Is there some special reason for that? Wouldn't you think we would get the 12-plus day part numbers somewhere sometime? They must be holding them out for last. Anyway, we have a break to do here. It's 12 minutes after 1. Tom is busy analyzing all of these numbers and, of course, waiting for his third best friend in the world to show up. The dean. I bet you. Now, have you ever spoken with him? Have you ever had any dealings with him? Or
oh, no, I can't say that I have. Haven't had the pleasure. Although I suspect it will happen.
Maybe. I think so. I think you could be the topic of the first half hour today. Anyway, when the urge for seafood... No, this Johnny Dark was on with the bad guys. It's 1:14 at WIOD. Tom Jicha was our guest for the first 3 hours, but now he's hyperventilating on cheeseburgers, and he's just making Dean-like sounds. Guttural sounds, on and on. So anyway, I think I was fairly on target here, right? I said that Hot would probably go down a little bit, which in some demos they did. 12-plus they went down. I said Magic would take a hit, which they did.
They sure did.
I said we would do pretty well, which looks like we did.
Yeah.
And
what made you think
a partridge in a pear tree? I just think their music has deteriorated badly. You know, when you keep hearing Bobby Vinton records on there, and at one time they really had fine-tuned it pretty well.
They still have the market, though, pretty much to themselves.
Well, yeah, no, it's not that they're dying on the vine, but they've lost a lot of it because they keep screwing around with the music, and all they got to do is drive up to Orlando and listen to Cool. And get a good idea on what I'm talking about.
I think they have a new program director, though, relatively new within the last year.
Well, I sure hope he's not the guy that's putting on the Bobby Vinton record.
That's Bill Stedman.
Oh, is that Bill Stedman?
Well, he's the program director.
Well, if he'd stop making phone calls to Waxy and pay attention to business.
That might help.
Yeah, look at that. There was a little onion on there. The dean would never put up with that.
I don't understand that either.
What?
It's crazy that he called Waxy.
Well, was it for real, you mean?
I don't know.
No, it would have to be a put-on.
Yeah, he would never do that.
Yeah, unless he's going to work over there or something like that. And, of course, we don't want to leave it out. Zeta,
well,
that's
something we haven't talked about. What's going to happen to Waxy? They're being bought.
Well, we keep hearing things. They're being bought. The sale has gone through.
It has.
Well, then why are all those people still working there? They were all supposed to be gone a month ago.
Well, no. The company that bought them has a history of not changing things that are working.
And you believe that? Well, you think that's going to be...
Well, it's not... The company... It's a big name.
The least they could do is buy Ricky a new cat.
Ackley, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know from any of these companies.
But anyway, it's not one of these companies
Nick wants to know Steve's numbers. Well, first of all, the only number we've got... I don't know why we can't get those 12-plus numbers. All I can tell you is 25 to 54. Steve went from a 3.7... from a 3.9 to a 3.7...
And an hour, that's yours, or an hour of sports talk, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And W. Snooze had a 1.2 down from a 1.9, and Wins had a 1. So even though he dropped 0.2 of a point, Snooze dropped 0.7 of a point.
An hour and a half of that is Channel 10 News.
Yeah.
Now.
I think that is unconscionable, the fact that they're simulcasting Channel 10 News 2 hours a day.
It's ridiculous.
It's just it's not just ridiculous, but it's unconscionable. Major market radio station, big signal. And they're taking 2 hours out of 24. That's a 12th. That's 8% of their broadcast day, and all they're doing is slapping on a television station and claiming that
2 hours they're not paying for.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's just it's an affront to our sensibilities in the industry. When are we starting to do it? Because 7's right next door here. Can you imagine how cheap that would be?
Just run a tin can across the yard.
Oh, yeah, 2 Campbell soup cans in a tin line.
Put it right into the
microphone. Which is how WOLD sounds like. They already got the tin cans.
Crime check.
At channel WOLD. Have you heard how they've degenerated again, technically, how bad they sound? WOLD?
I don't listen to them that often.
Well, they had cleaned it up for a while there, and now they got that real muddiness back in their signal. I don't know what they're thinking about. Can't they hear that? I mean, don't they understand it? I don't get it. So we're still waiting for the 12-plus, and I would beg anybody back there, what the hell is going on?
Told you.
Why don't we get the 12-plus numbers? I mean, those are the ones. Those are the meat and potatoes. I mean, granted, we like these younger demographics is great because that's what it's all about. That's where the money is. Oh, here's 7 to midnight, 25 to 54. Hot with a 12.9. That went up again. I'm glad Johnny's out of the room. Magic stayed flat with a 6.3. EDR went way up to a 5.5. QBA, Life,
12.9.
Waxy from a 4.8 to a 4.0. Love, 3.5 to a 3.9. What? The Dean what?
Is he here?
The Dean is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Popcorn has a 3.3 at night.
This is 25 to 54. This is all, look at that, WIOD from a 19 to a 28. We were really doing it until we put Dickie Farkle on. But these are 25 to 54 are meaningless. For example, wait till you find Wichner on here. Man, that's got to be an almost... Look at that.
Go to the last page.
He had a big increase, 0.8 to a 1.1, and it is on the last page, tied with Radio Suave and VCG. Woo-hoo! He's got those young demographics, ladies and gentlemen, all tied up. And if he ever unties them, maybe they can get to the radio and turn it on. No, can somebody go back there and find what the 12-plus day parts are? I mean, why? It's 120 already.
All day parts.
And we still don't have that, and we don't have any of the day parts 12-plus. That's, No, Monday through Friday, day parts. Not Monday through Sunday. There is no such thing. Monday through Friday. No! The man knows nothing. The man is frightening.
12 plus Monday through Sunday?
I want Monday through Friday day parts. Monday through Sunday is though he knows nothing about the business. Well, I'm serious. This man really believes he knows something. He owns a station in Maine.
Yeah, what's with his thing with hot? I mean, the guy's got a obsession.
He's hot for hot, man. There must be some chick that works over there.
No.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He always loves those kind of
Should we put this mobile caller on? Hello.
I think you ought to put me on.
Okay.
Been putting me on for years, haven't you?
What's your story, sir?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, it's annoying to be listening to the... You're right, listening to that WOLD, and have them simulcasting the news, and they're telling you, and here's a film... You're thinking, what in the hell? Did anyone tell these people this is radio?
Yeah, and I like when they show the weather map is my favorite.
Too bad they don't have Juana Wilf. Let's go to the tape.
Yeah.
Who sold them on this idea? I don't understand this.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's an affront to our sensibilities, sir. Just remember that.
I got a PSA for you. This is definitely a traffic update. I'm on Lejeune Road. I'm actually at where Lejeune meets Bird Road at Coral Gables High.
Oh, you should never be there.
Well, I'd say those the little girls on the lawn. It's incredible. I'm sitting here, and there's this red Chevette that's coming south on Lejeune doing about 4 miles an hour through the traffic intersection, and there's this red sign, this white sign with red lettering on top of the car. I swear to God, it says West Indian Driving School. And I'm thinking, who in the world is going to let this guy teach them to drive?
West Indians. Sir, do you want an answer to the question?
Who? Johnny Drive. Listen, hey, Neil, I got to ask you something. I have a spy report, and I'm not sure I don't want to be repetitious. If someone else has already mentioned this to you, just let me know.
Well, you're just full of it, aren't you?
I really am.
Exploding with enthusiasm.
I had a radio accident this morning.
Empty-handed.
I like listening to Mike, but when he starts playing those records, I got to hit the dial.
Let's get that music off in the morning. It sucks. I agree with you.
And he's telling the audience that it's your records. And it's definitely
no, it's not my record.
I mean, I know your taste.
It's Boy Gary put all that music in there, not me.
Anyway, I flipped over to Alice, and
he needs you.
Well, that geek over there, that's his sidekick, is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm not sure if anyone heard this or not, but he was reading an article about a lady who's been married the most times any other lady in the country. She was married 21 times, and he quoted her as saying she was looking for the right man, and he chuckled and said, "Join the club."
Oh!
I almost fell out of the car.
Alice said that?
Yes.
Alice? Oh, I don't believe that. Yeah, I do.
I wish I had.
He occasionally sticks a little toe here and there,
He said, "Join the club."
Yeah.
I said, well, anyway, I'm out of material.
Boy. Well, let me tell you, you certainly covered all the bases,
I
sir.
think so.
Just like the Cubs.
Well, that's almost an ankle out of the club.
Okay.
Watch out for those West Indians.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Haven't played that in a long time, have we?
Do you want the official word now?
Yes.
Yes.
The printer is out of ink.
Not only that, the copying machine is broke because the was supposed to be making me a copy.
That's right.
This is big time radio. The printer is out of it. You would think they would think about that.
And they don't have any?
That's right.
What do you mean that's right?
They're going out for it.
They don't have any. That'd be like the Dolphins lining up for the kickoff Sunday and someone go, "Anyone bring a ball?" Jesus, someone go to a sporting goods store. Excellent analysis, Tom. Sincerely.
If there's anybody at any other station in town where they got some ink, who's got some numbers, 12 plus.
Bill?
Yeah, Bill Tanner.
Give us a call, Bill. We need you.
You believe this? I can't believe it.
You would think it would.
Wouldn't you think, since they knew that today was the big day, that they'd have some ink laying around?
See what we're talking about?
Or maybe they could, like, use blood in there instead. I'm sure that Bill has probably slit at least one wrist already. He could probably give a couple of quarts, and we could do the rest of the numbers in red. Okay?
More orange soda in there?
It's 123. Now, are you telling me that by the time we go off the air, we will not have the 12-plus numbers?
Doesn't sound good.
No. They could get them on the phone instead of the computer. They can get them on the phone. I mean, this is bogus. This is unacceptable. I mean, these are interesting, marginally, but there's a lot of stuff there we want to find out. What are they doing back there?
Just think of the show you'll have on Monday.
No, seriously, what are they doing back there?
Are they running around? They just know.
What? No, I'm asking a serious question. What are they doing? They're just sitting there looking at the empty screen?
They sent somebody out to get more ink.
I feel like I'm usurping Glenn's thing there, just sitting here laughing. Well, what else can you say?
They sent somebody out to get more ink. Who did they send, Nick?
Ladine.
Ladine, yeah. Oh. I know who they should send. Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh, this is just so typical, and I think we're going to do pretty well in here. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I guess we'll never find out. I'll have to wait all weekend. Well, it's nice we at least got the 18 to 34 men page, isn't it? We got just the one page. We didn't want to go overboard in that demographic, but we are number one there. So that's nice to see. Anyway, if you want to lose a ton of weight right now, leave Nick alone. He's under a lot of pressure. He's very offended by Tom's intemperate behavior. It's 28 past 1 at WIOD, and Tom just gave us a report from the sales room back there where they're working feverishly to get those numbers for us. They didn't go out and buy ink. They brought a whole new machine in there.
That's what they did.
And is it doing anything?
They're hooking it up now.
They're hooking it up.
It looks like
are you sure
we
that
put the Christmas tree up. There's
what
about
do they
18
call
people
what do they call those machines? Life support systems? Are you sure they're not hooking it up to the FM transmitter? Is that what it is?
Was, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
could that be what it is? Are there like long tubes hanging from it?
You've got about 4 people just hanging around. They're all moving, and one guy's underneath it, one guy's behind it, and
yeah. Anyway, what an exciting day. I predicted this, didn't I, that today would be chaotic and exciting and record-breaking, that this would be a day that would live in the annals of infamy.
And this ought to make the best of by next week.
Oh, I would think so, yeah.
And I predicted it would take a while to get the book, if you recall.
A Debbie Ellis spy report.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Are you gone? Boy, that would be, well, they probably couldn't fit onto the phone. That's the problem. It was just too big of a call for us to handle. So we're sitting here with this stuff here. I think John ought to go back there and keep close eye. No, so that somebody runs up here. I'm not trying to push anybody around, but I'd like to get that 12-plus on you. We only got a half an hour. Do you think we're going to get it?
Yeah, and I've got to get a column written.
No, you're not leaving until the
know.
dean comes at least close to that time. I don't think he's coming in here till we get out. But I do have a lot of stuff to schlep out of here, so I may have to make a couple of trips. Right?
So when you come back in here to get more stuff, will there be an open mic anywhere near you?
No, there will not be an open mic.
The dean won't associate with any of this, so he won't come in here.
No, I won't. No. Should we take a call or two here while we're waiting to kill time? I feel like the last 45 minutes, that's all we've been doing is basically killing time now.
That's true. It is
well,
true.
Maybe
haven't we?
Yeah, maybe they'll put this a best of on someday when there's a 1 o'clock.
Already taken shots at everybody in the market that there is to, and of course, I'm sure they must have the morning numbers. I wish I'd get that morning QAM number 12-plus just so Calder will be, appeased.
Well, that's he'd probably just make him more paranoid.
No, he's probably got it already. I'm sure that their machine didn't run out of ink at QAM.
No, he won't get it. I know from Ed Kaplan, they don't let their people see them.
Yes, they do. Ed Kaplan's feeding you a crock of malarkey, okay? Because they called Bill. They called Bill at home. Well, they don't let Ed see the number, and I don't blame him.
No, he's got some of the
Here
best
we
numbers
go.
on
Now,
the
just
station.
relax. 6 to 10 a.m. What do we got? Have we got everything in here?
No, it's mornings. It's coming out slow.
Man. All right, but it is coming out, okay?
Yeah. Great.
Well, look at this. There's nothing wrong with that. From a 0.6 to a 0.8, Calder went up
33%.
Yeah. No, there's sure nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
In fact, it was down when he got here to a 0.1, so he's up to a 0.8. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's the only thing they've got over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, 0.1 like
all right, let's look. 12 plus. What the hell have we got? Oh, this is mornings.
Yeah.
How did Uncle Mikey do here? Where the hell is he?
Probably down.
Oh, he's on the first page. I'm on the. Oh boy, I panicked there. I panicked. Okay, Hot had an 8-1, 0.3 of a point drop. QBA is 6.9. That's a big increase AM, so that assimilation factor is definitely working. Life stayed flat with a 6.9, tied for second. Isn't that interesting? QBA, AM, and Life. Those two, they're like two thorns in the side of the entire industry. They're always in there. They mean nothing to anybody else.
Well, I suspect, and I think there's the same factor at work in both. That the Life is just there because it's on in offices, and I think QBA there's an ethnic loyalty factor where people who might not be listening to it put it down that they are listening to it because they feel that it's their ethnic responsibility to do that. Yeah.
Just Radio Mombi was fourth also, by the way, with a 5.8 down from a 6.3. So. Second and fourth in the book are No Speaking English, and sixth also. Fifth, WIOD in the morning, Mike from a 5.9 to a 5.2, so he got a
third among English language stations,
a drop
right?
there in he got a fluke drop. It'll go back up. He's always right around a 6. CMQ FM from a 3.5 up to a 4.2, so there's no question that the people are blending right in that this Spanish radio thing is just a fad. Y100 from a 5 down to a 3.8 in the morning. What?
See what happens when you fire Super Dave.
Yeah. See what happens when Johnny Dark costs Super Dave his job, and Y100, I think they're going to be calling you at home, not to offer you a job either. Magic from a 4.9 to a 3.6 in the morning. Yeah.
That's two Burke before work?
Yeah. Burke before work, but not the Dean. That's a different Burke. Kiss from a 3.1 to a 3.6. Power 3.5 to a 3.4. Wins from a 4.4 to a 3.1. That's the lowest 12-plus number in the morning that I can ever remember on WINC. That's just an abomination.
Yeah, well, didn't Snooze
it's
pick
an
up some of
affront
that?
to our sensibilities.
Well, actually, they should go
We
better
haven't got the Snooze yet.
But Snooze isn't really doing the news like they used to anymore.
GTR Herman and McQueen from a 3.6 to a 3.1 in the morning. 12-plus. W Snooze from a 2.3 to a 3. See, Alice did have that increase, but again, all over the age of 100, as the demos point out. Waxy 3 to a 2.9. Zeta from a 1.2 in the morning to a 2.5.
Huh?
Shocking.
They got it right where they want it now.
EDR from a 1.3 to a 2.4. Love from a 2.4 flat. She 1.7 to a 2.0. QBA 2.3 to a 1.9. Who else are we interested in? FTL 1.8 to a 1.5 in the morning, 12-plus. WXDJ, just about off the air. KUT with a 1.3.
1.3 for K?
Yeah, from 0 to a 1.3. Yeah. So that's the mornings, 12-plus. Now we're waiting. Next should be, it might be, it could be, and it will be as soon as it comes in here, the midday, and then we'll get afternoons. We'll get it all straightened out.
Great.
Nice to see you, Cheryl. Nice doing business with you. Are they comatose on the FM? Are they having... I know. It's just one book, right? Yeah, she knows, boy. She's seen them come and go. She's seen the panic and the hysteria and the blood dripping from the wrists and all that other stuff. It's just one rating book, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're going to get on after their weekend party tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's funny he should mention that, but you remember at Guy Gannett over at Carroll City, even when the book was bad, they used to have ratings parties. Hey, the book is in, and they'd go in the toilet, on both stations. Hey, we're having a ratings party. I guess
that's true.
I don't understand that, but what do I know about them, huh? So anyway, so the station went up to a 5.1.
That's good.
Overall, and Mike got a...
that 6.
Well, I think we could do a 6.
On the fall.
Now that Dickie Farkle's here, I think and the Dolphins. Yeah. Dickie Farkle can really put us over the edge, don't you think?
Well, yeah, when Monday night is proctologist, so they behind all our problems.
You are really cruel. You really are. I think it would be great for you to be a guest on that show some night. That would really, but you better do it soon. Like in the next month, I think, just to be sure. In fact, you could be on Joey Reynolds' show and Dickie Farkle in the same day,
probably
real soon.
Same time.
Okay, it's 1:35 at WIOD. I think we'll take this little break here. We'll do it on time for a change, so Mike doesn't have to get hysterical. And then when we come back, by that time, it's just a real good chance we might be.
Unless they run out of ink again.
Yeah, we'll see if the gerbil got his health back. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, 1:38 at WID, an exhausting day here. Let me tell you one more time about Toyota of Hollywood. We give you those incredible prices. We tell you about the new 3-1 before the hour, and we're sitting here waiting desperately. This is kind of like, it is like covering the date elections, isn't it? So the computer breaks down.
The date elections are usually fast.
Tony has an upset stomach, and we're just getting a little bit at a time. We got the 12-plus. Now, we need midday and afternoon. We need both of those. We've only got 20 minutes to do it. Are we taking up an office pool?
I think so.
Are you getting nervous?
No.
Oh, Johnny
you?
Dark's on the job.
Johnny Dark is back there on the job. If anything is a guarantee that'll get screwed up. That's it right there.
Do they have food back
no,
there?
when he asked me if we wanted day parts Monday through Sunday, he doesn't seem to understand. Monday through Sunday is like the overall station number that includes the weekends. When you start getting into day parts, it's Monday through Friday, and the weekend is a separate number. I mean, any schmerl knows that.
What's strange is why Arbitron breaks those into 10 to 3 and 3 to 7. When just about every radio station does 10. Who does a 5-hour
You know
show?
why they do that? Because 3 to 7 is considered afternoon drive. Now, see, in this market, it's hard to relate to it, but like in New York and Chicago and L.A., drive time is all the way till 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
In this market, really, it should be. You're right, 2 to 6.
Yeah.
And 6 to 10 in the morning. And believe me, that 2 to 3 hour. I don't want to say this, especially with Steve out of town or wherever he is. 2 to 3 hour kills us. I mean, just absolutely.
Well, only until the hourlies come out.
Yeah,
only until the hourlies come out.
Well, even so, but we still have to live with that number. I mean, 10 to 3 is our number.
Yeah.
Just like that first hour
but the
of
sales
sports
people
talk that
they sell
Steve
your
has to
hours.
inherit. Well, no, that's true. There's no question about that. Well, I'm trying to be controversial. We're trying to be like Dickie Farkle. Okay, we're still waiting.
You have to shout.
Huh?
You have to shout.
Well, I can't do that. It's the end of the week, and I'm just trying to conserve for the ball games this weekend. Okay, I'm trying to be nice and calm. Tomorrow I'm going to be at Pompano Park watching the game and plunging at the same time, so that ought to be really quite an experience.
Same thing. I have a dog running tomorrow night. One of my dogs
Do you?
running tomorrow night. Yeah.
What is it?
Name's Counselor Mike. He's in the fourth race. Not a very good
Counselor
dog.
Mike.
You know what? Though I'll tell you. You talked about caustic before. There's another one that I own. This is the first time I've ever owned dogs. It's all one litter, and I have one named Caustic Critic. It's named for me, and it'll be running at Flagler next month.
You want to get next dog? You ought to name it the Dean.
The Dean.
That'd be great.
Yes.
He could run till he was real old too. I bet.
Yes.
How about Mr. Dean?
Very low number.
Or Mr. Dean.
Very low number.
The numbers players wouldn't want.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, 1:42. We're still. I can't believe the last hour and a half of the show just sitting here killing time. This is the slowest trickle, but Johnny Dark, ladies and gentlemen, has got a whole pile of stuff. I want whatever you got. Okay, just don't. No. I want 12 plus.
Friday, 6.
Look at this. Look at the way this is printed out. Look at the way this is printed out.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's printing double size.
6 a.m. to midnight, 12 plus.
And the current figures that are printed first. Okay.
Oh, this is a mess. This is a mess. We already got this anyway. What the hell? We don't want this. This is useless. We've already got
You don't
this.
have 12 plus 6 to midnight.
The hell we don't. That's the first thing we got. We had a 5-1, right? Let's see what it says here. WIOD. What is this?
No, it's the first number printed out as a current number. Okay.
5-1. That's what I just said. We've already got this.
I'll take that one with me then.
But you're going to go nuts trying to read this.
Well, give me the good one.
Huh?
Give me the good one.
All
I got to
right.
get a column written real quick.
All right, just relax now. What, you want to leave? Is that what you're trying to say? There you go. There's...
It's printing, but very slowly.
Oh, man, slowly ain't the word for it. And here's men and women, 25 to 54. But what about the 12 plus, John? We got 16 minutes. Boy, okay, 25 to 54. What do we got in men here in the afternoon? Okay, WIOD, we're number 1.
Is this my fault too, or what?
No, I'm just trying to motivate you. You're our only hope. We got a 12-1. We're number 1 in men 25 to 54. Okay, is that all right? Midday. What is Mike doing in men 25 to 54? He's got a 4-8. He's number 5. And Steve in men 25 to 54 has Steve. A 6'5", number 3, went up from a 5'9" to a 6'5". So it's in women, I guess, that we had a little problem there. Let's take a look now. 25 to 54 women in the morning. Ranieri is 15th. That's from a 3'5" to a 2'4". And we are like nowheres, man. We have got in women 25 to 54. We're not even on the second page. 2.2 down from a 2.4. We're 16th in women 25 to 54. See, I told you there are no women listening to this show.
What are they listening to?
God only knows.
Curious.
What are they listening to? Joy, 99, Hot, Love, Magic, Life, Kiss. Did that give you a real good idea?
Nothing.
And in the afternoon, Steve, women 25 to 54 also is like desperate, a 1. A 1. So those ladies are kind of like slipping away. And you know something? Tough. Right? That's the break.
Just the women just aren't. All women aren't into getting tattoos.
Yeah. Well, no, the bottom line is it's tough getting especially a younger women audience and talk. They don't listen to talk shows. The men is the important thing, and we're just knocking them dead. Isn't that the way we're supposed to rationalize it? Huh?
Oh.
We are. That's what it's all about. That's where the dollars are, my friend.
Did you get
That's
that 10
where
to 3 I was
No, I'm still. It's 1:45. We're still waiting. The audience must be on pins and needles. They must be ready to blow their brains out at this point, because I know I sure am. This is ponderous, man. Ponderous, as Casey would say. It is bleeping ponderous.
Worse than the dog.
Well, I did give you that, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the way that's printed out, man. You have to be Popeye to read this with glasses 4 inches thick. I just can't believe it.
Look how it's running.
12 plus. Well, I guess that'll be something to nail on the wall or something. And we got the morning 12 plus, and now we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. The only thing we got Ranieri's number, and we got Calder's number for him, which he went up to a .8. He's on his way. A woman that listens is on 1.
You would think so.
A woman that listens. What does that mean? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You listen?
Yes, I do every day.
Well, thank goodness.
Is that it? Well, that's it. She only listens.
Is that why you call
No,
it?
that's why. No, most of the women will listen, but they won't admit to it.
Oh, they don't admit it?
No.
Why? Is it like some kind of a disease or something?
No, not really.
So we have a lot of closet ladies.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think you got a good point. We're going to have to try to open that closet, right?
Try it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Well, she was a little, she didn't want her voice to be recognized. And I guess in the female crowd out there, it's a closet kind of a thing. An old bag. What is this? An old bag that wants, getting a message here, Calder's numbers. I already gave Calder's numbers. He went up from a .6 to a .8, and on QAM, that's a massive morning number, okay? I mean, that's good. He's only been there a short time, and he's getting close to a 1.
And they've done nothing to promote him. The best promotion he's got
on this show, trust me.
Yeah, there've been no ads.
The only promotion he's got to been on this show.
Yeah.
In fact, we've given him more on-the-air promotion here than they have on the air over there, which says a lot about them, right?
I guess. I mean, you wonder. How do you get known? How do people know you even there?
Well, you have to go to the track with me, I guess. Anyway, it's 147 at WIOD, huh? Yeah, how did Lester do? Where's Lester's numbers? Is he on here? I think he beat the motivation station. I just can't believe this. Here it is. It's like, when did these start coming in? An hour and 20 minutes ago. They
20
started
after 12.
An hour and a half ago.
Lunch,
the first ones came over there, and here we are still waiting for 12 plus midday and afternoon drive and night. And that is shocking, isn't it?
Election day.
Are they dragging it out to the bitter end here or something?
We're waiting for Cook County to report.
And Johnny was on his way to the back, and somebody had some dessert back there. Had a cheesecake or something, and I went out and see him again, you know? He may be sitting on those numbers. Is he coming?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Empty-handed.
What do you mean I'm not going to get him?
Not going to get him.
No what?
You may get midday in time, but that's about it.
Why is that? What's coming over now?
6 to 10 a.m.
6 to 10 a.m. what?
That you already have.
What, they're doing 12 plus again?
Yeah.
Why are they doing it again? We've already got that. Oh, okay. Let's take our last break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to really hold our collective breaths here. But, of course, if those numbers come in, I'll come rushing back in during the Dean show. No, I don't think so.
Dean loves to talk.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. 149 at WIOD.
Chuck Meyer here. How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Hitting the snooze alarm 8 or 10 times? That's cool, but if you want to get an early start on your weekend, why not join me for the Weekend Magazine? Every Saturday morning, 6 to 10, we have the news, weather, sports, traffic, beach reports, entertainment calendar, and interviews with people from all walks of life. It's all geared to the South Florida lifestyle. So if you're heading for the beach, the mall, grandma's house, running the dog, you're taking a jog, keep the Weekend Magazine in mind. Saturday mornings, just before the Best of Rogers on 610 WIOD.
610 South Florida Weekend.
Here's something that the greater percentage of the public agrees with. The Honda Accord is one of the world's great automobiles. That's a fact. Now for the other percentage. The new Honda Accord has been changed. It's 100% different because it was re-engineered and improved. The new Accord is bigger and better than ever and looks every bit the part. There's more room inside with more space between the front and rear passengers. The ride is more comfortable over the longest distances, and the car is more responsive under all driving conditions. The new Accord was redesigned to create an entirely new car, one that raises the quality of driving and is more tuned to the driver. You will have to drive it to believe it. The new Accord from Honda. Just go with the percentages.
First time at the Jets 45. Here's Marino, play fake, drops the throw, looks left, got a man down there, and it's caught. Touchdown!
DCC Dolphin Express round trip is only $7 with free parking. First bus leaves 2 hours before, and last bus leaves 1 hour before kickoff. The main boarding location is in Dania at 5440 Ravenswood Road. For other possible boarding sites, call 357-840-0.
All right, 1:51 at WIOD. We've got 8 minutes. John is going to, well, we really appreciate this. Johnny's getting more exercise today than he has all year.
You said all he does is eat.
Exactly. Well, he's trying to put on his best show here.
Well, you know it is when company's here, yeah.
And he's rushing back there again to see if we can't at least get midday. Why would they be running morning 12 plus again? We already had that. We already went through it with a fine-tooth comb.
It must be an unbelievable
But we got an important call on here. Hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Yes.
It isn't that the ladies don't phone you. They do. They just can't get through. I try many, many times. We listen to you all the time, and I know many ladies that do. But the line is always busy, and
Thank goodness for that.
he does not take the calls from Miami, really.
Who doesn't?
Whoever answers the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell him off for me.
Okay. Better start taking those calls from Miami, Mike.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, we're for you. We're for you 100%.
Okay, are you going to be listening to the Dean this afternoon now?
Well, possibly.
Okay. Have a great day. Bye. Okay, well, I think we solved that problem. 8 minutes before the hour. We're counting down. We got 7 minutes left now. Boy, this is amazing. Don't you think they're doing this on purpose?
Maybe we could do like they do on television. Just go
open-handed. What is going on? This is
just starting now on the midday numbers. Just starting now.
Well, he should be near the top.
Well, then you can tell us what they are. If they're got near the top, certainly going to be in the top 3 or 4, 12 plus.
I mean, it'll another 3 minutes.
Oh, this is like a game now, isn't it? This just seems a little bit too. They're like dragging and dragging.
Is Bill Wise running that? Is he ahead of that?
No, he's inside the machine now.
It's going to be down to the wire.
You remember Once Upon a Time in America?
Sure.
At the end of the movie, had the garbage truck, and he was being ground up inside the machine there. Spike Wise is with the sanitation people right now as we speak. So,
well, we may have to run overtime.
That's it, yeah.
No, I don't think so. Of all days, I don't think today would be the day.
They do that on television. Huntley and Brinkley never left the air until we had a winner.
Well,
back in the day,
there's nothing more disgusting than listening to some self-aggrandizing, pompous ass talking about his numbers on the air. Those of us who are old pros, we don't need to worry about ratings and numbers. We know who's number one. Oh, God, I can't wait, boy. I'm going to take extra time. I'm going to drive home by way of Jacksonville just to make sure I can pick up the whole show today. It's going to be incredible. Okay, now it's 1:54. That clock is ticking away frantically now. Another woman on the line. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Great.
Boy, demand a recount.
You know something? I have been trying to call you for about 3 weeks. I was at Specs, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I met Johnny Dark. Spencer washed my car for me.
Wow, you got it on everybody.
That's Arlene.
That's right.
Hi, Arlene.
Good. How are you?
Fine.
And I can't get through to tell you how much I enjoy your show. I mean, I keep dialing, and the line is busy. I realize that you're a very busy man, and you're very popular.
Well, that's okay, because nobody wants to hear how much you enjoy the show anyway, but, I mean, we appreciate it.
I really do. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I really tried many times to get through, and I just get a busy signal. So I just wanted to let you know that you got a lot of nice listeners out there, and they're women, and they're nice.
Well, we're excited to hear that.
Okay?
Thanks, Arlene.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Now it's 1:54:30. Boy, you've never been on anything. This is like, oh, man, cutting it. We got 4 and a half minutes. It's how long could it possibly take?
It goes so slow. It's the slowest machine I've ever seen in my life. Let me check these.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my God, another run to the back. Wow, I have never seen this man put such energy out. This is loyalty above and beyond the Call of Duty, huh?
Brunch or something.
Yeah, we'll have to get him some food someday. Like Monday, no doubt. But, boy, this is really right down to the... It better be good now after all of this, huh?
Speaking of women, how you doing with the dark lady, Glenn?
History. That's ancient history.
No.
Oh, yeah. And how about Robin?
No. Now, Giselle Fernandez, though...
he'd like to start...
You got good pace with Giselle.
Yeah, can you do me any good there, Tom? Can you connect
I don't
me?
know, but...
do you know anybody in the hall?
My good buddy Hank, I promised him...
Did you?
Yeah, no, Hank's...
He's not...
Giselle is in Panama, by the way.
She's back.
She was last night.
She's back.
Yeah, already?
I keep track of her.
Yeah.
Hank is not her type, trust me. No.
Well, I don't know. He drives a bit.
155.45. I'd drive a bit too, and I'm not her type either. Almost 156. We have 3 minutes and counting. Johnny Dark is not here. He is. I see that head rear. Oh, he's got something in his hand.
We have the numbers.
Ripped right off the machine.
What do you mean not all of them? What is it?
Probably enough.
Still working on them.
Where is it?
The first number.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's all we wanted. Don't get all bent out of shape. Midday. Number 1, Lifeless, with a down from a 10.6 to an 8.4. As I told you, number 2, WIOD, up from a 6.3 to a 7.
Whoa, a 7.
Wow. You're supposed to say wow.
No, Tom Jicha says that.
I don't say wow. When
he says the Dean.
Wow.
You say wow. Hot from a 6.9 to a 6.7, then QBA AM, Joy, Magic from a 5.5 down to a 4.5. Power with a 4, and that's about all we got.
So
that's enough.
You can leave the building holding up 2 fingers like Nixon. You know, I'm number 2.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's W Snooze with a 3.9. No, that's 3.9.
That's Debbie?
Yeah, from a 2.5. The only problem is they're all over the age of 400. Y100 with a 3.7. Gloves with a 3.6.
Also probably all way over 400.
GTR from a 3.7 down to a 2.6. So that's what we've got on this sheet here. So we'll take the 7. And run home with it. Okay?
Yeah. 7. That's your biggest number here, isn't it?
No, we had a 7.3 in the winter. We got really jobbed in the spring when that June month in there down to a 6.3, and now we're back up to a 7.
Great.
Which, considering all things equal, considering the Alex Bennett factor there for a week, I think we'll... What are you... Huh?
That's 12 plus. That's 7, not bad.
No, it's not chopped liver. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Tom.
pleasure.
I know you'd like to get out of here about a minute and a half early because you might want to encounter the dean in the hallway, but it's a good time. The dean is out there? The dean is in the hall?
Good Lord.
Jeez, I'll be damned. What is this? She with a 2.6 midday, Zeta from a 1.7 to a 2.6. The Gonzer factor is gone, and that must be helping them. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know where that's coming from. INZ, a 1.8 up to a 2. They're definitely on the road to recovery, and that's about all you need to know in midday, okay? So that takes care of that. We got a whole packet of crap to take home here. And stay tuned now. We've been having a lot of fun with them all day long, and far be it from us to be... Oh, look at that.
It all fell.
It all fell on the floor. I think that's an omen.
Did we get the afternoon numbers here?
Not yet. 12 plus? No. You want us to stay on for 15 minutes? I'm sure Steve's people would love to hear what they are, but we don't have them yet. We'll do them on Monday. And we can't do that. The dean is in the hallway. He's ready to do his big thing. He's
chomping at the bit.
He's been getting ready for this, I'm sure, for days now. So stay around for Alan Burke, ladies and gentlemen, a legend in his own mind. And then, of course, we got Sports Talk tonight at 6:05 with Hank Golddigger. All of our best friends. And followed, of course, at 8 o'clock tonight by the unmentionable Dickie Farkle, who Tom
sure will do an hour on me, but I won't
be doing a long time on Tom Jicha, and Tom said that he won't be listening, and I'm sure that most of the rest of you feel the same way. Okay, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning at 10 o'clock. We'll have a further compendium of all of these really...
And I'll have my Monday column in the Fort
Lauderdale News, Sun Sentinel, at cost only a quarter at your favorite newsstand, and the coin box, etc., and on your front lawn, even when you don't order it. And stay tuned now for Chuck Meyer with the 2 o'clock news, and have a great weekend and a solemn holiday, and go Cubs.
WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Steve Kane is next after this news break on News Talk Radio 610, WIOD.
Depend on it.